Grab yourself a seat and keep those hands in the vehicle at all times. You're about to be taken on a ride through the untamed wilds of internet role-playing. Observe them in their natural habitat.
So you head out.
You know that would be funny! I didn't know there'd be consequences!
Enjoy the splendor of their spurgery.
Felix, who is the lion fauna,
And feast your eyes upon the questionable creations of internet randoms.
Actually, I've never DM'd before.
This is the Supernova Safari.
Hi, I'm Blake. Welcome to Supernova Safari. And you all do not have to roll for this podcast. Joined by Ben.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
Noah.
I have become so much weaker since starting recording this podcast.
And Liam.
I'm excited to review the high-quality, high-production value season finale of the Grimm Campaign.
And as Liam masterfully said, we will be getting into episode 9, Racing the Stakes. Team what? The season finale of season 1 of the Grimm Campaign.
And I gotta say, the episode starts off strong. I'm gonna stay with this for a little bit.
Yeah.
With Eddie's microphone quality being absolute dog shit for no reason. It's like no one caught that he was on like his webcam microphone for the entire fucking session.
And they don't like address it in editing. They don't flash up a little thing going, haha, sorry, we recorded the microphone, smiley face. Like you'd think in editing they would have at least mentioned it in the episode, but no, they're just assuming no one's gonna notice or just try and force through it.
I literally noticed in 5 seconds. I tabbed to another episode to make sure I wasn't schizophrenic.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck, apparently.
I have a question real quick, because I think this goes into this a little bit. Do you think they thought they were getting a second season? There is one, but do you think when they recorded this, did they think they were getting a second one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Because I take the microphone quality thing, they don't mention anything about it, I take that to mean, like, it's the final episode, who gives a fuck? This was terrible.
I'm pretty sure they knew, because, like, who the fuck is, like, look at the garbage up there on the website, who's gonna say no?
Considering this is, like, one of their only first products.
Also, like, this costs, like, $6 for them to fucking make?
I can't imagine they're getting paid.
Like, do they even pay people?
Less.
Are they even paying Carrie, Chad, Chris, and
they don't do anything anyway.
Laura,
they only have
more
to pay
than their salaries already.
They probably only pay Eddie and then Chris, assuming he really is the guy who edits these. Those are probably the only people getting paid for these performances.
Yeah.
I have reason to believe they assume there's a second season, because in the comment section, little spoiler ahead, there are some Rooster Teeth people replying to like earlier comments being like, yeah, stay tuned for the announcement about the second season. So I think they did fully know that this was going to have a second season, which is, to Ben's point, shows how bad of a episode this is to end off of, if they really were confident they were getting a second season. That or they recorded these way long ago and found out later, due to reception.
I feel I'm pretty confident in at least guessing that they probably knew they'd have a second season from an early point. Because, I mean, like, I really have to think, it's like, if they want to do a second season, who's gonna, like, tell them no? Is it really, it's like, there's so much shit.
Quality control should be telling them no.
Yeah, but then you look at all the dog shit on Rooster Teeth, and like, yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Quality does not fucking dictate anything, I feel. Like, RWBY is getting another season, that tells you everything you need to know.
That is true.
Oh, God. And I think just the little amount of actual effort it takes to make probably really does show, like, yeah, this isn't going to be a hard show to renew for a second season.
Yeah,
because clearly no one gives a fuck about, like, anything involved in the integrity. Now, of course, it sounds very preachy, but the integrity of what this show infers from the RWBY world and what it does to the setting. Because, God, they don't care about it even in the main show.
What do you mean? There's not totally something in the first fight that might be controversial.
Dude, this, like, whole episode is filled with that shit. Honestly, like, looking at, there's, like, there might be a third one. I'll look over my notes as we go, where there's, like, points where it's like, whoa, we're just gonna say that's a thing, huh? Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
Fuck.
Bless you, buddy.
Thanks.
So, yeah. Awesome. Also, the episode title. I understand the joke of what raising the stakes is, because it's spelled like raise to destroy. Yeah. But I still think that's an awkward end finale name. Team What is just pain.
Okay, Team What is not even good, because I don't want to spoil it, because this is, I know we're going to talk about this for hours, but the reveal of the name, and I actually had forgotten, I'm not going to go into it just yet, but I want to say that the reveal is even worse than I remembered.
It's so really
I thought it was at the end of the episode. It's like in the middle.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
I was fucking blown away because I forgot it was there too. I also have to. So this is skipping ahead literally to the ending. I'm not talking about the ending, but I will tell you, audience, the season ends on a cliffhanger. How do you guys feel about cliffhanger season endings as opposed to, like, episode endings?
Dude, it's RWBY. We have to end on a cliffhanger. It's the only reason this show gets watched.
We cut to Pike trying to parallel park.
I'm assuming it's Sopranos.
I know why Liam laughed, because yes.
Yeah,
I just thought it was nonsensical.
I just think it's a funny joke line too, but excellent, Liam. Now,
that's
sorry, I had to fit one in. My bad. That's my quota.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, please continue on this point, though. What do you guys feel? I voiced my line.
Oh, about this
cliffhanger ending. Season cliffhanger endings.
In an actual TV show, they can be done extremely well. In this, no. I mean, like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's just cringe.
I just don't know why they went for it.
I think they're very ballsy, and if pulled off, they can be very good. But, like, if you're... like, basically, like, you have to be good to make them good. And if you're bad, they're really bad. Like...
oh, damn.
Like, it's one of those things where I don't think there's a median. I don't think... it's either really bad or really good. There's no in between.
See, I'm more of the mind that I don't really know... like, they clearly only did it to do it, right? But
yeah,
did they really not think about how this current storyline that they're on really doesn't mesh well with the idea of, like, a cliffhanger? Because we really only established the actual plot within the last 2 episodes before this and the end of the one before them.
Once we've actually talked about this episode in detail, actually, and, like, once we're giving final comments on the season, like, a big point I have is, like, this entire season is so fucking odd in terms of, like, how it's paced, where it's, like, it ends wanting you to care about, like, everything, but it's, like, it doesn't give you enough time with anything to give a shit about anything.
I agree.
But I think that discussion is probably best saved for after we've actually gone through the things that happened this episode, which I think will be that fucking long, because, like, there's a lot
it's
of
just
combat.
There's
a lot of combat.
Endless combat.
I don't know. I got some points in here.
No, I think...
oh, no. There's some... I know Noah's about to talk about the team attack for hours.
So I will start us off by a great line in the beginning that's given is that Chad always gives good recaps. But in fact, he just gives every recap, Eddie. You just make him give every recap. I don't know if you're busting his balls, but, like, weird antagonism, like, you guys got going on.
Quote last week, Chad will always give recaps. Quote this week, I guess Chad will do the recap. Eddie Rivers literally speaks without thought and remembers less.
And then after Chad's awesome recap, we roll the encounter table, and what do we get?
Bandits.
Never
Eddie, come here.
I love Eddie.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
You're about to make the same point I am, but go.
Slow your roll. We gotta talk about what is it called? Fucking the Spire? What is it? What is this thing they're on?
Tailspire.
Yeah, that dude. I love at the beginning. He's like, okay, so like, explain. Can you paint like a word picture of what this place actually looks like?
Yeah,
because
Carrie's
right now
like,
it looks like we're going for gold.
Gold. From Carrie Shawcross, actually delivering a haymaker.
Yeah, quote from Carrie. Do your fucking job and describe the room to me, please.
Describe the world and quit describing my character's actions, please.
I was gonna save this for later, but I think this brings up exactly this point. I have a picture to share with the class.
Okay.
Excellent.
The fuck did I call it?
Nice.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll bring this up on OBS.
Okay.
So this is a bit later in the episode, but I had a question. Is there any point of using this over just Theater of the Mind?
The literal box. Yeah, dude, we gotta measure distance, except we don't measure distance accurately in Tailspire. We just go Monopoly piece, pick up, put down to measure distance. So no!
It is so nonsensical what they use Tailspire for in this fucking campaign.
Yes!
It makes combat cumbersome. The maps aren't even interesting.
I want to point out...
Dungeon navigation is just made tedious. Eddie, just say there's a room with doors and you go through them. None of these rooms were interesting at all to begin with, and making them go through literally big square empty boxes is so boring.
I have to say, this first encounter, Eddie performs like a JRPG map change when they trigger the encounter. Because if we remember last time, we're in this weird layout dungeon room that he described as actually being futuristic and normal. Like RWBY saying stuff. But then we cut to it after they're opening this door to the next room that's on the map. We cut to them now this week in a Tailspire map that looks like literally, Mario RPG, like the mine section. It looks like the Mario RPG mine section. As in, hit combat, screen swirls, combat music starts, and you're on a different map. And then we cut back after this to the normal map. Like, Eddie realized he needed a slightly different battle map, so we have this out-of-dimension battle map. Like, they've encountered something on the world map. And that really threw me through a loop when I was checking this.
Now, question.
Yeah.
Could that be a good idea?
Once again...
this map looks like dog shit. Assuming, if they could have made the battle map look cool.
I think what Eddie realized is his maps for the dungeon completely restricted his ability to make slightly interesting battle maps. And thus realized, oh, this is a bad idea. If you were going into this intentionally and you were using the map as like a large or a scaled down version of the map and you're going across it as a reference point, like here's a little picture of where we are, here's the map, we scroll through it, oh, when you hit this room, show a Tailspire map to show what the room actually looks like, go back to the approximation of the floor layout, is a way to do dungeon crawling that's fine. I think that can be fine. The way Eddie did it here is cut from one map where we're actually in to a different map where we're actually in, apparently cut back to the other map where we're actually in with no explanation. I have to assume Eddie explained it and they just cut it out, because he doesn't reference it at all in the actual episode.
Yeah, it's very
weird.
And
yes.
No, I wanted to go on just the actual scene. I mean, did you have any comments about it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to point us to. So you want to talk about these bandits, Liam? Sorry! They're bandits!
Can I just say, Eddie starts, literally the first line of his campaign of the session is, so you enter the room and they're bandits. And they're attacking you. And it's like, Eddie, did we really have to remove all nuance from a possible interesting situation of entering a room with these individuals we later find out are literally just scared. They're not.
Hold on.
The guy who's left is literally like not even a bandit.
Hold on, but
like a scared dude.
You forget though, when they do walk in, he goes, "Okay, the bandits see you and they attack." And Chad goes, "Wait, what? They just see
Chris
us."
goes, "What? Eddie, what? Like, they are both upset that, one, they just see us. Because, one, they established last time that they're hiding around corners. Two...
Well, to be fair, they did knock on the door here.
No, obviously they announced themselves, but Eddie, like we talked about with this map discussion, instead of having that, like, XCOM wall full cover entryway position, they're then teleported into this map with no defenses.
True.
They are announced as bandits, when last time we have no idea who these guys are, which Chris is upset about, like saying they're spoiled bandits. And then they're like, they're bandits, Eddie? And Eddie kind of mumbles and goes, hired muscle, and keeps accidentally calling them bandits and then hired muscle again to try and cope with this. And to Liam's point, this thing about them attacking out of nowhere, because they're just sentient humans, open this door, which we later learned was locked? Does anyone have a valid explanation they want to, like, a Grimm Campaign apologist want to come up with just, like, any reason this could happen? Take the floor.
They've been trapped in this room for days, weeks. They're starving, and now they're cannibals.
Well,
Killing the first people who enter the room.
Well, Liam, they were trapped here for weeks, actually. That is real!
Sorry, your resident Grimm Campaign apologist is here.
Yeah.
So, obviously, this makes a lot of sense, because, like, as we know, Team whatever their name is was coming in from the manor, yeah? And, like, the manor's real spooky, so you can't go that way. That's why they didn't want to go through that door. So they were just hiding out in here because, you know, like, it's pretty comfy. And they thought that, like, you know, Team whatchamacallit were, like, psychopaths that were here to kill them. And they are.
They are so. I guess they saw the blood and like the demon horns growing out of them because they're evil alignment.
You know, we're Fable up in here.
Fable. They saw their Fable.
They could probably just spot Arastra and see the psychopathic nature just from afar.
Oh, maybe they saw that they had Faunus with them and hate Faunus.
That's fair. That's fair.
Wait.
No, wait.
With a no alignment spell. A dust.
No, that can't be it, because we're in, like, the actual world of RWBY, so no one actually hates Faunus.
Oh my god.
Oh, it actually hates Faunus.
I just remembered.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get to the rod, if you know what I'm talking about?
I got some more shit.
Okay.
You do want to point out that Pike has Psycho Moment number 4 in here, where Chad goes like, can we not try and negotiate with these guys? Pike, I don't want to negotiate! I'm tired!
Yeah, I wrote that down too. So just like, should we try and talk to them? I'm tired!
So Chad comes in trying to actually apply some logic to these sentient human beings. And Carrie makes sure that we're canonizing that Team shoots first and asks questions later. So that's awesome.
So as we get into the fight, let me just describe it. Lee, you run up to them and like do a little slide, but slightly go past them as you go for the leg, trying to bring them down before you stab them in the back like a coward.
Some amazing descriptors.
Eddie cannot be stopped. He will describe every action you take, and you cannot fight him. He will do it.
So you draw a bow, that's a paragraph of description. Eddie literally, as this fight's starting, comes in, like, literal Eddie cam. Eddie comes in over the screen as he slides in. I don't know if we've ever talked about how hilarious this is, because this is a running joke we have of, like, people on screen, camera zoomed into 2 webcams. Someone says, "Hey, Eddie," and his webcam is dragged over, like, a large godlike entity to look down at them. The editor makes it so funny.
Yeah, "Hey, Eddie" is a great meme. I also have to say...
okay.
Like, it's... Never, ever, and I used this trick on Ben before, but never ask. If you ask if you can do something, it's a trick. You're being trapped. and Eddie takes full advantage of this. If a player asks, "Can I do something?" he goes, "Roll."
Roll.
Also, I like how
difficult it'd be.
I like how this fight room, if you guys have noticed, is actually a recreation of the video game Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, where everyone has like wacky inflatable arms, and like like their physics are fucked up, so they slip and slide everywhere.
It's awesome, but
yeah, no, this combat starts out with like 3 people fucking like getting up and tripping over themselves.
It does, because ones are funny, and I want to stress that Eddie does that godlike entrance when after this like weird interaction where Chad's like trying to act like a normal human being, where Eddie comes in and goes, "Don't worry, these guys they attacked first, like they were clearly trying to attack you, so don't worry guys, like Han didn't shoot first, was a bad guy, you don't have to feel bad about doing this." The continued whitewashing of Team unjustifiable aggression and crimes is just once again wiped away. This is 20. That's a no-scope headshot. Cut to Carrie go, "Wow, Eddie, you didn't even roll for the damage," as it kills someone.
He was already hurt. Okay, now I want to actually ask someone else if they noticed the same thing, so I'll go with Liam. Liam, have you noticed that it seems almost like Eddie is like he picks rolls at random, like he'll be, it's like a dex save versus him to disarm him, where it's like, you just rolled a 20, he's dead, haha, where it's like, Eddie's literally just like, randomly picking what you roll, what the effects of you rolling something are, what the DC value probably is.
Oh yeah, Eddie doesn't have a stat block for any of these characters, he's just like, that sounds good, yeah, that hits. He doesn't have a stat block. Spot. When he has someone to roll, he never has a DC in mind that they need to beat.
Yeah, he's trying to make a dungeon world conversion for 5th edition, where he just doesn't have rules.
He's literally just rolling a d20 and then deciding what happens.
Yeah, he's like dipping his pinky and takes a, that's 15, yeah, you can do it.
No more salt. Well, that tastes fine.
I'll give it to you. I'm feeling.
I'll give it to you.
I'm feeling generous. Ooh, a 4. You trip and fall.
Ooh, you shit your pants.
Fuck, what is it? What is the thing Chad says that was so flaming to Adam Sandler? God, what does he say? He says, this will be. Oh yeah, he says this. He rolled high. He goes, "This will be good," and Chad goes, "Not when you say it, Eddie." That is actually something Chad says.
Chad, we are at peak. Chad is upset with Eddie.
Chad is pissed.
Like, at the start of this episode, we're seeing it with, like, Eddie, are you fucking serious with the bandits and not being able to talk with them? Chad fucking hates this.
I have to say, Kokonos is throwing his heart out this episode. I to give some praise to him later on.
This is a great moment near the end when I want to talk about.
Attack?
No, they're saying
the team attack is basically next up on the docket is our dusty friend, and then the team attack, which someone else can take the dusty friend because I'm sure everyone is chomping the bits to talk about this.
I mean, I have a lot of investment in how the world of Remnant actually functions.
Pick someone to rebound off this with the what goes on here with our dust user.
Oh, dude, come on.
You got it.
Come on.
Yeah,
dude.
Go, Ben.
Okay, so he picks up what Eddie describes as a rod that is charged with dust.
No,
he calls it a wand.
His clothes are also
He calls it a wand?
He calls it a wand at one point and quickly tries to go back and call it a rod.
Remember, his
say that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Remember, his clothes are also infused with dust.
This is my exact point. Eddie literally does like a tap dance trying to dodge describing this guy as a wizard for 15 seconds with the description as he fuddles around the word until he decides there's dust in his clothes.
He's wearing literally an enchanted robe from Skyrim.
The fucking character in Tailspire is just a wizard. I wonder what's gonna happen.
Oh, and then he casts something on Chad, and he casts the sleep spell on Chad. Okay, here's the thing. The sleep spell, huh?
Sleep.
Okay.
Did he say sleep spell?
Yes.
Yes, it is literally the sleep spell. He falls asleep, and he goes,
Talks about how
now
much
someone will
hit
have to
points.
use an action to come wake you up. And then Chad, honestly, I think at this point he's pretty
Pissed
pissed
off.
still right now. He's like, what, do I gain aura points while I'm sleeping? And
Short rest.
No, it's not a short rest.
Then in the middle of combat, Eddie's like, "Oh, yeah, you had like a short rest here, like before you got in here, or was it after this? No, wait, no, sorry.
Oh my
That was
God,
right
did that
after
happen?
that was right after this combat, where he's like, "Yeah, you got like a short rest. I didn't tell you about."
I think that actually comes up later as a point, because there's a weird section later on we'll get to, and I'll bring this back up then. But this entire wizard is one of the most egregious things Eddie has done yet. I know some of you are probably thinking, okay, well, maybe that's like a semblance. But no, for those who aren't listening to the actual podcast, and I hope none of you are, it is explicitly his dust that is doing this. Eddie has decided that he doesn't say if like he's making a mixture of dust to make the chemical like chloroform to like knock him out. No, it's like the enchantment spell, sleep. Like, we've talked about how, well, cringe, you can just do like a 5e conversion fine, as long as you're putting in the effort to like flavor shit.
Just say it's lightning dust. It electrocuted you and you passed out. And your friend can wake you awake. It's not that hard. Maybe it's a little bit of a stretch, but it makes sense. You can be like, okay.
It makes you use compounds of dust to make a fucking gas that renders someone unconscious. You make a chemical reaction out of dust. That's a valid thing dust could do, theoretically, if you're precise enough. But no, like always, they just say, I cast Bonfire, I just cast fucking Sleep. You can't just one-for-one port over, like, mind alteration, like illusion or enhancement spells, without really trying to justify how they work with dust, because it doesn't naturally work with those sorts of things. There will never be a dust amount that is, like, fucking, mind control spells. That will never work. But Eddie doesn't care. He doesn't care about his own setting he writes for. He doesn't give a shit. He wanted to have sleep for one encounter. I'm fucking absurd. It's fucking absurd. This is one of the moments that motivated me to think about doing Safari. Because this is just such a painful combination of a DM who gives no fucking... doesn't give a shit, has a dumb idea, and doesn't ever stop and go, maybe this doesn't make sense. No, he doesn't give a fuck. God, I hate Eddie. So much egregious shit happens this episode. I'm not even gonna pretend there's one thing he does this entire episode I like. And the rest, literally, this is what pushed me to hate Eddie so much. He was a bad DM before on his first time. There are excuses you can give to him, even for some of his worst behaviors, but he's shown that he's never gonna get better within ideas and executions of them like this. This is clearly someone who has no respect for his own game.
Yeah, and like the reason it's so egregious is literally just like, hey, these are the people that make fucking RWBY. So it's just like, come on.
Eddie fucking writes for this shit! Every time RWBY's bad, you can point at someone like fucking Eddie and his dumbass decisions to do things because he gets a dumb idea, doesn't realize it's stupid, doesn't realize it's untenable without literally breaking the setting on your knee.
No one tells him no.
No one tells him no, and it gets in. It's fucking embarrassing.
Surround yourself with yes men.
Don't worry, guys. Chris is chomping at the bit to try and have anything cool happen in this. He's trying to roleplay. He's trying to enjoy himself in this combat, where Pike and a rostro have turned into sociopath murderers just with no thought. And he tells and he tells Pike, come on, buddy, let's do something. So who wants to start with this team attack shit? Because this is their level 2 upgrade, bros.
Oh, man.
Go on, Liam.
Oh, God. It's so bad.
It's really bad.
So, okay. He's basically... So Pike and... Was it Phoenix?
It was Pike and Phoenix.
Phoenix initiated it.
Yeah. Phoenix and Pike do a team attack, which essentially will boil down to him spinning Phoenix around by one arm and then throwing him towards enemies so he can get...
No. Phoenix spins Pike and throws Pike at
That's what I just said.
Oh.
So long,
or maybe I didn't. Or maybe I said it backwards. But
I don't know. It's so long, Gay Bowser.
Pike is the projectile. So then Eddie goes into the rules of team attacks with his 50 different caveats to how this shit works. So he's like, all right, so you guys have to be within 10 feet of each other. Your target has to be within 30 feet of you. You get to choose from a list of bonuses that you can add to your thing. And
I have all of them if you need them.
Nah, I'll if I miss something, let me know. So he's like, okay, well, first the enemy is more than 30 feet, so you can one of your bonuses will be increase your range by 30 feet. So I'm like, okay,
awesome.
One that's cringe. Two, fucking 30 feet for a fucking team attack, really, Eddie? What the
30
fuck?
feet have to within 10 feet of each other. Instantly, incredibly restrictive. 5th edition rules, pain.
Awful. And then he's like, okay, that'll cost you guys 6 aura points between you, and that'll count as Pike's turn.
Awesome.
At which point, but regardless of, let's not even get into the rolls and the results and what actually happens. Let's get into if this thing rolled fucking 520s.
Yeah.
This is still bad. This is awful. The trade, losing your turn as a player, fucking horrendous.
The opportunity cost of this
aura,
shit.
Which, by the way, using 1 aura point gives you advantage on an attack, which is nuts.
It's fucking crazy. Oh, but Liam, you have to call before it. Also, Liam, let's not forget, it's not advantage that they get. It's 2 attacks. Technically better, because they, in their system, for some reason, Eddie saw advantage and went, no, I'll make it multi-attack. Why?
Sounds pretty base.
Yeah. So Carrie's like, okay, I'll take 5 of the aura point cost, which is on a base. Good for him. He has a lot of aura.
Good for him.
One
of the other bonuses they choose is just advantage on the attack. So, 6 AP. So increasing the range of attack by 30 feet is what? 5 AP cost? Okay, I mean, haha, movement costs a lot. Make your funny fucking joke, Blake, because you're apparently right! Holy shit!
Like always.
Like always.
Yeah, but
the rolls.
Oh, don't worry, I've got you.
I do.
I would like to
remember exactly. It was 2 4s.
Well, hold on. It's not just 2 4s. In this team attack that they're performing, because they describe it as throwing Pike, Eddie decides we need an additional roll in here of you doing a strength roll to actually throw him, not athletic strength. So Eddie immediately kneecaps their attack, saying, well, you need to do another roll. That wouldn't make any sense. You can't just throw him. That's
we can't just say the whole action. It's literally just like they ask you to roll once.
Pike, I know you're.
Pike, I know aura points and expect to get something for free.
Free? Yeah, that's gonna cost you. I'll give you advantage on it because I'm nice, but unironic, weird, abusive tactic of being like, I'm gonna force you to do something, but I'm make it easier on you. I roll 2 4s.
Yeah. Felix, you just Looney Tunes fall in front of the Cyclops, and Clara hit her head on the truck and goes down.
Awesome.
Eddie makes it a point to say one of the most talking down to you sentences ever. That Eddie goes, well, you're going to have to modify the attack a bit because of this, because the range has been nerfed, which they still make it.
Oh my god, no. If I ever try and describe
your flare action.
A flare action, and you condescendingly say I have to modify it a bit.
Blake, because you only have 1 AP and only 15 aura and 12 capacity and 1 flare, you're gonna have to modify it a bit if you want to move 30 feet and then do this.
Jesus Christ, 15 aura. Well, yeah, no. If I need to move it and do something, I need 2 AP, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. And so Eddie makes a whole point of this, the resolution being you still make it within range. So then the legendary attack goes off and Pike fails with advantage, so they miss.
Okay, I need to just fucking...
That's it!
Ben, you agree with me, right? The fact that team attacks can even fucking miss in the first place is so fucking cringe.
Well, here's the problem. I don't think team attack should be a thing in anything that resembles 5th edition.
Oh, well,
Doesn't
yeah.
fit at all.
But they're using their own system, Ben.
No, fuck that. They're playing 5th edition.
We're one episode off of them for dropping that. Fuck off.
And in 5th edition, every attack should have the chance to miss. That's just how it is. That's how the system's balanced.
No, I think it should be like this, Ben. I think it should be like a saving throw, so they still get half damage on a failure, like a spell.
Well, yeah, you could just do that too. That would be nice. I mean, the easy example would just to make it be like a spell.
I think these team attacks should function like a spell. It's just one player doing expenditure with a modifying factor of someone being nearby, and then treat it like a spell where it has like a saving throw or something. And it has even if fails, still does something. Like maybe it doesn't do the effect of stunning them or whatever, but still does some damage.
No, spells don't work in RWBY.
I love how fucking stoned you made sure to make that sound. Thank you.
Now, honestly, I'm gonna say it. Do you think that the dust rod was actually like foreshadowing to the rod we got in the season later?
I thought you were gonna say
storing up all that magic, dude.
I thought you said
it was
just so he could do a big thunderclap at 6th level.
Oh, the
can't wait for
kinetics.
Osmond to reveal he's been storing up sleep in his sock, and he releases it, putting a city to sleep.
Oh, dude, that's awesome! Thank God.
Badass, Oz. Holy shit, Osmond, you're so base.
All I have to say is, Gale, what the fuck are your students like? You're still running Shade Academy. Asher and Phoenix? Like, come on.
No, Gale's dead. Oh, no.
Yeah, assuming Gale's not dead. Wow,
no,
that's
Gale is dead. Some dude took her name.
Yeah, right? Yeah, canonically, Theodore comes in, slaughtering Gale.
I can imagine she just sees like the crop of students get worse and worse after Team Supernova, and it's just like, fuck it.
Oh, guys, complete sidebar here. But as loyal viewers, I hope I have ruined any chance of whenever they meet Theodore in the actual show of being anywhere as compelling of a fun character as Gale, because I've read a bit of the books, and he's not exactly what I would expect from a Varation. He's just kind of like a normal headmaster. Like, why did they do that? Anyone wonder why the fuck they did that? I don't know why they did that. Why is Theodore a dude? Why didn't they have one female headmaster? I'm not exactly a diversity hire kind of guy, but like, for real guys, not one?
I mean, also,
I guess Glinda's one now, haha.
I mean, would you ever expect literally anyone to describe a RWBY character as being, like, fun?
I mean, like, I like Nora, she's fun, and
too bad!
God damn it,
All I do is do the funny hammer!
Oh my god, I literally forgot she got ruined.
As she,
do the funny hammer.
As she puts her forehead to Ren and just goes, Among Us.
Among Us. Blake's fun. All she does is cat memes now and little funny dances. She's not a character anymore.
Meow.
Yeah, I fucking hate Blake.
Thanks, Blake. Jacques Schnee's fun because he's a bad guy, so he
got splattered on a wall.
He got evaporated. Isn't that base?
A big gun.
The big gun.
Alright, that's our allowed sidebar time. I apologize, everyone. Hope you like actual
RWBY.
So for the viewers at home, this team attack resulted in basically giving Carrie 15 movement.
Yeah, Carrie spends all this shit to just land next to someone and look like a retard canonically because of Eddie's descriptions.
Literally, why would you ever go for team attacks? As Liam says, it's not worth it even if you get the most success, because it's like, you don't want to fucking spend all these fucking resources on a chance of maybe getting something. Okay.
Now, maybe Eddie just didn't maybe it was just edited out that team attacks would do, like, triple the normal damage of an attack or something.
It didn't hit, so to be fair, we don't know.
But
we don't know, because we're not allowed that info, because they cut around everything.
But here's the thing that would make that stupid anyway, is the fact that they've already seen that these enemies take, like, 2 hits to kill.
Yeah, exactly.
So that wouldn't be justifiable in this instance.
So Pike, for 1/6 of the mana cost, or AP cost, could have moved up to this guy and melee attacked him with advantage. Or multi-attacked him twice, sorry. and he would be, 5 or, heavier. Maybe, if you want team attacks to be cool and useful, they should probably be a little better than that for the cost. Just thrown out there, dude. Oh, did anyone in here... This is another thing where Chris is trying to have these little characterization moments for Phoenix, while most of the other crew does not give a fuck this episode. Did anyone, or is it just me in here, catch what Chris talks about with Phoenix?
Yes. I'd actually like to describe this, because this is what I was talking about when I was like, Chris is really trying.
Yeah.
So, after this attack missed, this big team attack that Chris initiated to try and have, like, Phoenix do something with Pike, after it missed, he basically, like, Chris rebounds in a really good way by, like, describing Phoenix getting, going into beast mode. But he specifically says where Phoenix's beast mode is usually, like, triggered by a sense of anxiety and, like, panic and fear at, like, the situation where it's, like, he kind of reverts as, like, a point of, like, trying to protect himself. But this time, it's at a point of anger, by the situation they're in. He's trying to deal with the foes in front of him, to protect him and all his friends, and it's like, he's using more, like, his own rage to trigger it himself instead of, like, having his actual anxiety trigger it.
Yeah, and he's, like, talking about, it's like, it's different, it's going instantly this time.
Yeah, where it's like, he's describing it as Phoenix consciously, instantly triggering his beast mode. And Chris does a very, very good job of, like, just rebounding off this, adding some roleplay into his ability, and, like, just, like, the overall way he describes this is really nice, and I really respect him for, like, how much he's trying to do that, and, like, I have nothing bad to say about Chris in this instance. I think he does a really good job.
Credit where it's due, and he tries to make this, like, an arc of something, of Phoenix's development of a semblance this whole episode. And it ends as poorly as anything in the Grimm Campaign, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
And it really strikes me as, one, it is really funny that he describes Phoenix's default mode as, I get triggered and go have an anxiety attack and freak out and scream. But I'm like, that's funny of itself. But I like this attempt at character building, and it's a real shame because, I really get the feeling that out of everyone, Chris is obviously the one who likes his character the most.
Yeah.
Like, I think Chris has a lot of fun, or Chad has a lot of fun. Yeah. I still think he's, like, alright with Asher, he doesn't have, but Chris really digs Asher's, like, character and everything about him. Like, he's really into
Phoenix, you mean?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Chris really digs Phoenix's character a lot. I think Carrie, through how autistic he is, really likes Pike a lot also. Like, I feel these two...
Well, Pike is a different beast.
But Chris comes at it with more success, and I really have to once again applaud that he's really trying, and it really sucks that most of the time he gets fucking stuffed. Like, completely. No sold.
So Chris does a really good job here. It's really nice. I see a lot of parallels between Phoenix Demian and Claire Maysora.
Awesome.
Name them.
Name them.
We'll wait.
Anxiety problems. That being the base of their semblance.
Both their weapons are on. They have 2 weapons on both their hands.
Yeah. Being a faunus.
They both act like dirty
that's
animals.
to come later, Ben.
Being a faunus. No, I didn't tell you, but
no, I didn't tell you, but I was adopted.
Silver eyes.
So Silver Eyes, actually just chameleon eyes that I've kept silver this whole time. Changes to blue. See? I believe that is all of the interesting stuff in this combat, unless anyone else has any notes, and we can get into the bandit, quote unquote, afterwards. But just check yourselves real quick.
Well, there's the out of character and or in character conversation of let's keep one alive so we can interrogate them later, says Chad. And Arostra is fucking sociopath.
This is all in character because people respond to this in character. I took some time to figure this out. This is all in character.
Also,
awesome.
Just keep one alive, insinuating that they are actually executing everybody else.
Yes! That is a big detail because the one guy's like, don't fucking kill me! Like, they are only specifying this now. And Eddie is probably doing his best to make sure they're not killing these people because Eddie wants to help Team not look like sociopaths. But man, the rest of them besides Phoenix don't give a fuck and are just assuming they're killing people.
Yeah, Felix, this guy won't be with us for too much longer if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but here's the thing. Can I talk about how this is such a classic D&D moment of like, oh, we're fighting a bunch of human opponents. Let's keep one alive to
Give them a funny
interrogate
game.
I mean, fuck.
I
If
was
anyone had
surprised-
actually watched the One Piece game, they would have seen us interrogate someone. What happened?
I was not there for that. I absolved myself. Everyone does it.
Can you remember
Everyone
the
does.
NPC's name?
Oh,
Ron.
yes.
Yeah.
His name was Ron, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah, that was his
His
good
name
trick
was
question.
also Ron.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
so
man.
funny.
I was fucking wasted that episode.
But honestly,
Oh yeah, Liam was drunk as fuck.
oh
That's
dude,
the
you were
reason that
fucked.
happened.
You were fucked up that session.
Fun note for all you loyal viewers: if you watch New Dawn Pirates, Cherry Island, Liam's fucking drunk and wasted. In the
I think Liam got in a car accident around that
No,
time.
that is the
No, that
one
was-
in my game.
that
If
was
you
the
go
one
to
that-
Records of Remnant in what the fuck? Wasn't it the
It
good Dr.
was with,
Hyde?
it was
What's
with
the name
yeah,
of
it
it?
was with Tiz.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I'm just trying to think of the episode name.
Wait,
the
you
episode
were
with the
drunk in that one too?
remember that was the
That was
forest
the
fight.
week- that was the like couple days after I got my car
Yes.
totaled, and I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm getting drunk."
In the episode
Oh,
House Call, episode chapter 7, House Call. That episode, Liam is fucking smash-ing, and is why he does so many absurd pulls of Grimm aggro in the encounter in the forest, and continually antagonizes Blake about it. Because you imagine Liam is at his desk with 4 beer cans, because he got in a car accident a day or so ago, and is pissed, or literally the day, I forget, is pissed off, and just showed up drunk, told me later, and I was nonplussed, but it was very funny at least.
I did not recall you being drunk for that session.
Yeah.
What, just him telling me to
I
shut the
remember you
fuck
burning
up,
the
not
town
like...
down.
Yeah.
New Dawn Pirates, Liam, very early on, give him more credit. You can cut him some slack. He's discovering his character and is drunk. At one point decides he's going to try and burn a town down. We take a break in the recording to get food, and I believe, Ben, was it you who talked him down out of it? Was like, dude, are you fucking sure about that?
No. I had
Sure,
in character. I think I was talking to Zarin, but also to Ron, and I was like, I don't know about burning down the fucking town. That seems kind of fucked up, Ron. And you're like, nah, it's fine. And then out of character, I went, okay, Liam, like, my character is not gonna burn down a town. That's fine. I'm not burning down a town, so you can fuck off.
Drunk Liam's based is all I'm going to
No,
say. He doesn't
it's
care about
true.
alignment.
It's so true. 100% true.
This was back in Zero.
I remember making
kind
a
of thing.
dodge action into dodge action, everyone triggering a fucking chameleon. My brain not associating the entire map with the invisible enemies that could be popping out of them.
And me being like, Liam, what the fuck are you doing? And him just screaming, shut the fuck up, Blake.
I was trying to
It was so awesome.
between me and the enemy.
Liam was trying to assert control.
The enemy.
So yeah, thank you for another sidebar. I hope you guys. There's gonna be a lot of Supernova trivia during this episode. I'm thinking about it because we have another big one coming up. So
Oh, it's true. It's true.
loyal fans are gonna be happy. Okay.
You're off of.
What?
What are the them being sociopaths, right?
Right. Yes. Now towards the bandit they keep. So they decide to keep one bandit after he begs for his life, literally hands in these, please don't fucking kill me, I don't have any plate mail. Okay. I will hand this off if you guys want, but I want to point out that this guy recounts, let me recount the story of what he tells them really quick. He says that these guys are hired help that were hired by Javi Pastel, the guy who owned all this place originally, was later murdered. So he hired them to help protect the dig and the experiments he's conducting on something he found in this mountain. Now, timeline-wise, that was, quote, by the Taskmaster a few weeks ago, about a week ago when they got out of jail. So, and afterwards, Grimm kind of broke out from the cages that were here, and this place, they were trapped in here. So when we made that joke earlier of, oh, they've been trapped in here for weeks, they're cannibals, haha. No. They've been in here for weeks. What the fuck were these guys eating? Why did they attack the first sentient people who are here rescuing them out of this hellhole? Eddie, please send help. I'm so confused.
Hey, this guy doesn't get it.
I guess they just spawned in.
Well, it's really confusing because they're not, like, dressed like anyone that'd be working for the bad guys.
No.
Like they went in disguise, and this is a misunderstanding.
No, exactly. Since they're from Pastel,
reason.
Since they're from Javi Pastel, these guys aren't associated with the Wave, the Hana, or Vermilion. Like any other, or like Smoke is hired by the Wave and shit. Vermilion stuff's dealing with the Hana and shit. Like no, none of these guys are associated with them. These guys were associated with the rightful owner of this land and were just security that were here to deal with Grimm and keep things safe. That was their job. They were not here to scare people off like Smoke was, because this was for Javi back when he was alive. These guys are literally just normal PMC guys who weren't doing anything illegal. And they were, quote, scared, so they attacked. He reveals that this combat encounter didn't make sense. Thoughts?
Base.
No.
I think that, honestly, Eddie's kind of a genius.
Explain. Elaborate, please.
He looks funny, he has a funny smile, and he makes me laugh.
You won me over instantly at he looks.
3 points. Anything to retort?
I'm kind of overwhelmed and can't even remember the first two, so you're probably right.
I know, dude. You looked at the ghoulish grin.
Yeah, so, what did they do once they realized that these guys were actually non-antagonistic threats?
They're
They just attacked on
assholes.
survival.
They point a crossbow to this guy's head, turn it sideways, go for the kill shot.
As you do.
Oh,
No.
and then, guys,
Treating him like a
funny.
fucking pressure plate detector, basically.
No. Isn't it funny that this guy's name is NP?
No,
Hold on, Ben. There's better setup to it than that.
I wrote down all of his names.
This shit has a
Neil
lot of
Patrick.
buildup. So, when they decide to capture this guy, Blake, you could have the floor with your favorite queen to talk about it. Do you need help? Because I quoted her a bunch of
No,
times.
I quoted her as well.
Okay, good. Here you go. Please. Arostra Sky speaks up. And at first, I thought this was Laura, but no. They talked to her and she says, yeah, this is Arostra. So go ahead, Blake.
Arostra Sky has many great things to say here. One of them being, if we bring him with us, if we bring him with us, we have to either keep him alive or sacrifice and kill him at some point.
Kill him at some point. You're getting a little too nasally. Go ahead.
Whoops. Yes.
No, it's okay. It's accurate to the
And
experience.
as Noah might have shown you with his earlier creative intro, I have become so much weaker since I started caring about you guys. And it literally just makes me ask, what the fuck was her intentions with this character from the beginning? Reminder.
Cold-blooded sociopath out to steal the rightful ownership that a bank has over her land.
Reminder, Arostra just comes from, like, a fucking, like, hey, you ever played Skyrim, like, that little town, like, near,
Silver Hole, or where the fuck it's called?
No, not the big one. There's, like, a little mining town, in the Reach, I think.
You can go get silver there, and some iron.
And so, like, there's, like, a small little subquest there where some bandits are, like, holding up a little mine, like, in the town's disputing with them. And that's basically, like, where Arostra comes from, and so for some reason, this is a cold-blooded sociopath.
See, I'm starting to, like, imagine, like, you could work something with this. You could be like, oh, Arostra is a entry point to realize that a lot of the mining families, when they say family, they mean, like, crime organization family style. Like, they are, like, weird, like, cartel-esque holders of dust mine territory where they, like, behead people and fuck around, and they're, like, they're not, like, a company of, like, normal miners. They're, like, fucked up mafia shit because the need for dust in Mistral is so rare because there's not as many mines as other places. You got this criminal ecosystem that grew up out of them known the mining families. And that's what she meant. And not just, like, innocent Faunus people who get their land stolen by the white man banker.
Yeah, no, that's...
But I don't think that's what we're going with here.
No, that's kind of like role-playing cringe.
No. Her family's in construction.
Her family's literally my family's in construction. Laura's lizard brain is activating so much that she's literally telling the party, we are going to use him to trigger the traps ahead in these rooms that are electrified. And Asher goes, oh, Queen, that's so based! Because he's also insane.
Yeah, but at least Asher, you can more believe he's just like a fucking dirtbag.
Yeah, that was never really not part of his character.
Oh, and God knows Pike and Phoenix have nothing to say about this.
Phoenix later, but no, Pike in fact jumps in, and as they're threatening this poor man, Pike literally says, I'm going to rip your asshole open with this drill if you don't move. And no, saying it cutely, as I quote, I'll scuttle your butt, doesn't not make this a psychotic moment. Because scuttle is literally rip open. So he is literally holding his drill up going, I'm going to stick my fucking drill up your asshole and destroy you if you don't move. Just because you say it in a cutesy funny voice doesn't make you literally not the scariest motherfucker here. What the fuck? Psycho number 5. I'm putting it down. Fuck you, Pike. That's insane.
Calm down.
Was Pike asked for a name here? Asher tries to get a name out of him. Pike screams he doesn't care. But Psycho moment part 5. And the roster goes, I don't want to know his name. I don't want to know his name. So then Pike combos this into going, your name will be fodder. Pike!
No.
Pike says Andy.
That's Chad that says Chad says fodder. Pike says Andy.
And then Eddie hits us with the greatest fucking joke.
Like Andy Worski!
And we get hit with the greatest fucking joke. I personally love it. I'm a fan. But thank you for naming him NP Coral.
No, please, hold on. Let me explain this. So Eddie has says his name is NP Coral, which is a really funny joke, because if you look at his initials, it would be NC. But if you include the P from his name, it would be NPC, which if you know your D&D nomenclature is shorthand for non-player characters, so... well, I think you see where this joke is going.
he's a bit of a random NPC, if you know what I mean.
He's a bit of a random NPC! I cannot believe how much support and laughter Eddie, literally sweating and going, his name's NP Coral, elicits from these chuckle fucks. It actually makes my skin crawl, the low bar of comedy.
Oh, wait, did they?
I didn't even laugh.
I must.
Oh my god, that's bad.
I must.
There's better delivery on that joke, and I was disappointed.
You
can be like Nathan P. Charleston, and it's the name with an actual joke in it.
Right? Like that? Yeah, he couldn't even go that far.
Well,
he got lazy.
Well, it's because Eddie literally went NP and then like paused for 5 seconds
to think of a color name. To think of a color name for it.
Did they laugh? I must have blacked that out. I thought they literally
No, they laughed.
I hope they sandbagged it.
No. Carrie's like, he's like Nene Seal clap. It is fucking embarrassing. So at this point, Phoenix is the only one who feels bad about this, while Laura and Asher are just using him like a 10-foot stick to check for traps. But what does he do? Does anyone remember this? What does he do because he feels dirty about this? What is his reaction?
He looks away.
Yeah, he just looks away. He doesn't do anything. Doesn't say this is bad or I'm not doing this. He's just like, well, I don't want to look.
To his credit, the guy doesn't fucking say anything. If someone was like, hey, go die or I'll kill you, I'd tell him to fuck off.
Just kill me now.
I don't know.
The level of protest he puts up is the equivalent of, do I have to? And they're like, yeah. It's like, okay.
Oh, come on.
It's like one of Maury's NPCs where they're just like, okay, jeez, don't yell at me.
Then again, you have fucking girl getting up in their face being like, I'm gonna fucking slit your throat.
Yeah, but no one's trying hard in this one, except Carrie, who said he'd scuttle his butt, which is horrific, but I mean, it's also kind of pathetic in the way he said it, so, you know.
I mean, that's a horrifically pathetic is a good way to describe Pike, right?
Yeah. Let's see. What happens next? Go ahead, Liam. Yeah, what's up?
You went into all the stuff he told them, right?
Yes. I think I basically said
One
everything.
thing I wanted to bring up was the manner in which this was achieved was fucking awful.
Yeah.
It was basically them going, tell me the plot, critical information.
It was not like a line of questions.
It wasn't questions. It wasn't even like what. It's just like a roster literally says at one point, tell me everything important or something along those lines.
A roster says, tell me everything important. And he says, well, I'll be working at the party auction today as a delivery man. Actually, if you'd like to come along and sneak in. Oh, shit, that was the other NPCs. Like, Eddie's NPC's chronic fucking diarrhea of useful information is always fucking astounding to me. I'm just shocked. Wait, no, he did say, so he tells you in third person. Fuck, he did abbreviate it. He didn't even do it in character. I fucking hate Edward Rivers, bros.
Yeah.
God, he's such a bad fucking...
I mean,
why,
I know
man?
none of the players actually know what's going on in the story, but, like, if you can't, like, do the bare minimum of asking, like, the basic questions to get base information...
Let him flounder for a bit and try and figure that out. They have to grow at one point, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, but the show has a runtime, dude.
I guess they could. I guess. I'm just shocked that Eddie's not telling them that they hear some like interesting sounds coming from the auction room. Still, honestly.
That's a good point.
Okay. Let's see. Does anyone have anything next immediately?
Well, like, the next, like, fucking 20 minutes is, like, my least
Resident Evil.
My least favorite part of 5th edition, Dungeons, which is, every door is trapped. We gotta roll checks on every door and tap every wall, or the players won't move forward.
There's a room where, like, the floor is, like, electrocuted for some reason, and there's, like, a bunch of dead bodies. None of them care, obviously. They're all sociopaths. None of them have any reaction to this. Really seems horrific, and like it should elicit some from like Baby Pike, but you know we're long since a part of his character.
No, they're adventurers. They've seen death.
They have to have like Phoenix walk across the. I liked it. Don't worry. I'm sorry. I kind of stuffed that. They have a part where Phoenix has to like. This is I'm with Liam, where he's like walking halfway across the dungeon to return to a previous point for a puzzle. Where it's like, dude, you have to deactivate it, and Chad is just like, or Chris is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hit it. And everyone over comms goes, yeah, that's fine. We don't care either. Fuck Eddie. Let's force him to cut the puzzle. And Eddie kind of pauses and goes, give me a roll. And makes it...
Hold on. The scene is, he goes, he's like fucking with it, and he turns to his friends, and honestly, I really like this, that he's like, before, someone should probably go do this for me because I'm going to get angry and punch it. And then,
It's awesome
And then, because I know in Chris's mind, he thought that at least Asher would come over and be like, all right, fine, don't punch it, it could fuck up something.
Yeah.
No, everyone goes, yeah, whatever, fucking punch it.
Whatever, don't give a fuck,
like,
punch it.
Okay, you called me on my bluff, I guess, and he punches it. Like,
yeah, Eddie,
guys.
What are you gonna do, Eddie? Not let them through the only door to go through?
Yeah.
Didn't fucking think so.
Eddie tries to regain control by making him take like 5 electric damage that he doesn't even fucking care about. Eddie, unironically, finally getting bullied. This episode has a lot of good Eddie bullying. I love it.
Perish.
But yeah, this is like 20 minutes. They're like collecting key cards. They're asking him, like, they get on the computer. I love this part. They get on the computer and they look at, there's a file that says like L1. And they fucking turn to NP Coral or like, what's L1 mean? And he's like level 1, guys. Like, you're on. Wait, like level 5.
Nathan, you click the unzip button.
How can we like figure out how this folder works? Yeah, you like open the folder. Can we? NP Coral, will these cameras get us view of other rooms? Like, yeah, it's
kind of cool.
It's what cameras do, guys. It's fucking. It's insane how very, like, dumb, little, minute, like, parts we have to stop at to consider this. And I know a lot of people probably do like dungeon crawling in D&D, and I think it's cool in the right setting. How do you guys feel about this level of dungeon crawling in RWBY? Like, I don't really know a good context to justify it to this degree. Like, this feels so forced. Like, Eddie's trying to go for, like, the, oh shit, something happened here, you gotta sort through the factory and figure out what happened by clicking up the video game audio logs and shit.
I think dungeon crawling can be pretty cool, like, in conceptual sense of, like, oh, like, it can be really interesting, like, oh, you have to go to, like, this spooky place, like, that has danger around any corner, and, like, it's, like, mysterious, and you have to, like, you know, you're going into some unknown catacomb to do something. It can be really interesting. I do not think Eddie justified it well here at all, and, like, they literally went from the manor into a fucking 5e dungeon, and it's, like, with, like, fucking ghouls in the bottom that, like, are masquerading as bandits. Like, it's literally a fucking Skyrim bandit cave.
I mean,
and
yeah,
it's
Gary
like,
called it out at the start of this episode. Like, you're right.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't fucking make sense. They were literally just escaping the mansion last fucking episode. Like, how... And that only segues into people being like, we've been trying to find this forever. Our Chucklefucks just fucking appeared here.
Oh my god. That is so... Ugh. So yeah, as you said, Blake, it's time to segue into this. So they're fucking with a computer and, like, diverting power into an elevator to get out of here. Like I said, this is, like Liam said, this is like 20 minutes of this bullshit we get to hear. And the screen flickers on, and a woman's voice speaks up. And we identify her because Roster's the only one who'd seen her. Because she's the only one who actually went to the auction floor. Eddie brings it up again here. Haha, I was joking. He does bring it up, bros. Auction floor, call out! Auction floor, call out! As Lemon, the leader of the wave. Okay. Is there even enough about Lemon for us to talk about our thoughts on Lemon as a character?
No!
Yeah.
By the end of season 2, there still isn't.
Yes, exactly.
Lemon literally, I don't want to say serves no purpose,
but she does serve no purpose. I think her role
She's almost like a boogeyman that never is delivered upon.
I think her role is taken and broken in half and given to another character we'll talk about.
Yeah, basically.
I feel like Lemon would have filled that role better. But no, Lemon is just like this woman who, like, I mean, credit to Eddie, she kind of has a character. She talks smug and like a cunt. I mean, that's more than he gives to most people. And he doesn't cut to third-person descriptors, or not third-person, but fourth-wall descriptions of meta information with Lemon, so that's another point in her favor. That's all she'll have. Lemon's just... Does anyone else want to cover this, or should I?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say about her.
Okay.
I gotta relay info, basically.
I don't even know what to say.
Like,
I wrote down very little with the Lemon conversation because it's so fucking dull. Because, like, okay, so here's like the gist of how it starts. Arostra is on the computer. Chad is next to her trying to look at a different computer to see the like camera systems. Pike is also in the room. And Phoenix is like, I don't want to be in the room. And so it's being like, I'm walking away.
But yeah, he does this classic. Phoenix is walking off autistically, ripping the party apart because he's on some other thing. I gotta find it in, guys.
But yeah, basically, appearing on the screen randomly is fucking Lemon, the leader of the wave?
Lemon, Hillary Clinton. I'm not making a meme. Her character art in season 2 shows she just looks like Hillary Clinton.
So Lemon is basically just like, oh yeah, Eddie is also like, the necklace seems odd to you like 60 fucking times. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
I have time reserved for that necklace.
But Lemon is basically just like, you've dealt with Team Smoke a bit, and then like Team Smoke is bitching in the background when they call them fags. And Lemon's like, no, stop bitching. And then they be quiet. So, like, good villains you got there, Eddie.
Awesome.
So, Lemon basically is also just like, hey, where are you? Because we've been trying to find that place for a while now. and they're just like, we don't fucking know where we are. We just randomly ended up here by force of chance.
Lemon is like giving them the biggest suck off. She's like, how did you four even manage to get through the Pastel lab and survive Team Smoke? You even got Mina arrested. Boy, I don't even know how you got in here, but it doesn't matter because do you want? Lemon says the most retarded line here, Blake. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I don't know if I know it off verbatim.
Okay. She tells them the Kuchinashi will be a different city when they return to the surface. I don't know why Lemon is even talking to these guys. That might sound odd.
Because they're the players.
Well, yes, but further in the conversation, she refers to them like they've, like danced this dance before a little bit. Like, you fucked with me. But, like, honestly, it's only been through proxies. They've never been motivated anything. Lemon, like, bigs up this idea that these guys are actually, like, have been having a back and forth when it's mainly been Team just wandering into this. And it's really jarring. It makes you think, like, did I miss a fucking episode in here? And then she says the most stilted line ever to force something. What team am I dealing with?
Team whoever you are.
Team whoever you are. She's like, and what does Chad say?
Team FAP.
And everyone laughs, and I thought it was funny.
Dude, that's so funny, dude. Ha! What
so
the fuck?
funny. That's so funny, bros. That's so funny.
Although, I do think it's a little... Yeah.
Yeah?
I think he's gonna get canceled on Twitter for that, you'd think. But maybe
I hope...
just...
Well, someone would have to watch the show first.
True.
So, Blake, since, your queen says it, do you want to take this one?
Yeah.
Here, I'll set you up. What team am I dealing with?
Team Sapphire. Was that the right one?
Is that the right one? She literally says the team name and then goes, "Is that the right one?" immediately. All right, let's talk about Team Sapphire because they do a lineup shot of all of them, just in case you're not able to put together and you don't know their names off the top of the head. That means Arastra, Sky, S for Sky, is the team leader of Team Sapphire. So let's get into it, bros. We've been hyping this up.
Okay, I would like to give a random piece of trivia to.
Oh, we're doing the trivia first?
Yeah, because I think it's small and worthy of mention. Is how one of the working names for Team Supernova was actually Team Sapphire.
I was on Pro Sapphire back then.
I was too, dude.
I was
a big fan.
So was I. Liam was the one that vetoed it because we basically...
Liam and Richard both.
Richard.
Yeah,
and Liam both didn't like it.
Yeah. And basically how we decided on our team name was basically like, okay, we all had to agree. So if even one person had like a strong feeling of like a veto, then we would just can a team name.
We had a lot, honestly.
We had like at least like 100 names. We kind of just like jotted down.
Yeah, and there's a bunch if you just scroll up to general chat.
So
like Team Spaghetti.
That was a joke. That was not real.
And Liam was the one that came up with Supernova. If I remember correctly.
It was.
And it was, but one of the working titles, which, 3 of us were a fan of, was Sapphire. Thank fucking God we didn't go with Sapphire.
Actually a dodge bullet.
100%
a dodge bullet.
Oh my God, thank
100% dodge bullet. Sapphire was rough. I enjoyed it at the time because I thought it's a good team name, and it does have the inherent meme, which is I think why they chose it of being the opposite of RWBY, right?
Yeah.
But I'm so I really like Supernova did grow on me a lot. I'm really glad, obviously, we don't overlap with them. I think it would have been a funny punchline for you viewers.
I couldn't think of having a different name from Supernova now. I really like it now.
Yeah, obviously, it's pretty catchy. Yeah, so like we eventually settled on that one, and it was really funny to watch this and have that happen. Realized how much like the first time we watched this, we were like, "Oh, thank fuck!" Because we all heard that and fucking lost our shit because we realized we were so close to being in one of the worst duo acts of our lives. Here, I can throw in some other good. I can throw in some other ones we had.
I liked Team Sapling, and apparently no one liked Team Sapling.
Team Sapling was one. Team Cavalier, Team Magpie. All of these, I think, are at the time still assuming Claire is the leader at this point. There's Team Savannah, Team Safeguard, Team Penguin, classic. Team Savage. I was a big Magpie supporter. I'm not gonna lie. I like.
Why? That's so. I know I was against Magpie.
I think it sounds cool.
I was against Magpie.
I disagree.
Yeah, no one liked it.
I think Sapling and Magpie, like.
I think Sapling's alright.
I think
Savage
cool.
Sapling's way worse than Magpie.
I think they're okay, but I would never pick them for like the team of like the main characters.
Yeah, Blake's.
Imagine if the main team that was focused on was called Team Magpie. Fuck off.
Think it'd be based.
Yeah,
I think it'd be based.
I really like Supernova. I think we got the best.
Yeah,
Supernova's definitely.
Everyone liked Supernova, luckily.
Yeah, fucking.
I still don't really get how we spell it, but I mean, who gives a fuck?
What do you mean you don't understand? Do you not know how to spell?
I'm breaking your balls.
Ben covering up how I don't know how to spell.
Not covering it
Ben,
up.
that's my gimmick.
I like Captain.
Really?
Hey,
your gimmick.
Not knowing how to spell.
The reason I hated Sapphire is I hate that fake letter bullshit.
I
Turning
like
C into anything. I hate it.
I like fake letters shit. I think it's funny. But fair.
Our choice of letters was dog shit, though.
I think it was based. Is the problem? We had too many cool letters. A V.
We had a lot of. The thing is, we had a lot of overlapping letters as well.
Yeah,
we did.
Did we? I guess we did.
Kind of. Not crazy, but yeah, every now and then.
The only overlap is
Aranea, Amis. Thanks.
The only one is like an A, right?
Yeah, that's enough. We didn't have a lot of vowels.
We had a lot. Well, that's what fake letters are for, but apparently that's not allowed.
That's quote-unquote cringe.
Cringe. It's literally the main character name in the show, RWBY, is a fake letter name. I don't understand your guys' hatred of this shit.
Nah, but RWBY is...
You only like it now because you've heard it a bunch, and you don't realize that you would have heard our fake name a bunch. Listen, I love Supernova. Yeah. I'm just pointing out how stupid this opinion is.
W being U is fair. A V being an H,
yeah,
or a PH or an F, ridiculous.
Liam just embarrassing himself on live recording. Also, to add to this little bit of trivia, it was pretty early on that we decided Clara would be the leader. I basically think from the inception of everyone's character besides Blake's, they said they didn't want their character to be leader, and Blake was like, "Yeah, I'd be leader." So that's how that went. That wasn't very hard.
Well, yeah,
I don't know if anyone's ever curious about that, but that deliberation was really easy.
Yeah, like no one else wanted to be leader. I was completely okay with it and actually wanted to be it, and I was also like, well, no one else has silver eyes, and the character I kind of made kind of fits.
To say how much he wanted to be a leader, but literally everyone else didn't.
Maybe one day we could talk about Proto Clara, but not tonight.
Oh, I'd love to talk about our Proto characters sometime. Because I think every character had some Proto versions.
Oh, Felix is literally
Felix's Proto version is the
talking about our characters before they were fleshed out is really funny.
It's super.
I think you'll be surprised by how fucking.
We also did at one point. Sorry, Blake. I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go. About what I was gonna say is you'd be surprised by where what some of our characters were before they were fleshed out more.
Yeah, Felix's is definitely the most
Felix was a completely different character.
Frank. Yeah, and even Felix had a different variant where I remember he was a different faunus at one point. Unless that was the first guy. Yeah, okay,
that was the first guy. Originally, it was supposed to be like a snake, because I wanted to be like a really fucked up, I wanted a reason why they'd be mad, and not just, oh no, dude, I have fur on my arms, dude, I'm gonna kill myself.
want some real faunist agitation. But we also did at one point have someone else who was going to be a different player at one point before we. I think it was Liam who then filled in. Liam, I think it was you, right?
Yeah, it was Liam.
Okay, yeah. So, and I did utilize their character idea in a way, and maybe we'll talk about that.
And he was actually the going to actually be the team leader, and when he had to step away, and Liam came in is when I took up the spot of team leader because
instantly with the inception of Gwen, Liam said the whole point would be it's good that she doesn't get team leader. It is the first conflict, which I thought was very big.
And I always wanted to be the team leader anyway, so it worked out well for me.
So we've used the sidebar enough to kind of avoid talking about how awful this is. So immediate first thought, like we don't even really have to touch on the name too much. It is. I think it's a little cringy for them to call themselves Sapphire. I mean, when we were doing it, it's like a fucking jab, like, how good it looked, Ruby and Sapphire. But this is a little self-indulgent.
Personal talk, though. Personal take. I think it is completely fine for them to do this. I have no problem with them being self-indulgent about the name of their team. It's literally marketing bullshit, and I think it's completely legitimate and fine.
Go ahead. Okay, Ben?
Let me weigh in here. I think it's fine, but my problem is that I don't like that Team Sapphire is like trying to be near. Yeah, it feels like they're elevating themselves a little too far up because although RWBY sucks, I still think Team RWBY could be good and cool if the story would allow them to. Like their designs generally now.
Not in the current one,
but they've had some really good designs. They have really cool fighting styles, except for Gamble Shroud,
and they're all unique. Gamble Shroud's cool. Ben's too small brain, but they are all unique and like memorable.
Yes.
They have the TF2 effect. You can pick them out in a lineup.
Exactly.
Silhouettes.
Exactly.
And ostensibly, they're not great, but they are still the main characters, and there's enough of them. They have songs and shit you can associate with them. You know, like obviously, it's going to be tough to like ever be put up to the limit or to the expectation of these characters from an in-house product of the same thing. The joke when, like, I would say it's funny because it's like we're the anti-Team RWBY, Team Sapphire. I want them to be based and cool, unlike RWBY, who are cringe, underdeveloped, and poorly used characters with decent concepts. But yeah, Ben's point, I'm completely with you. This is why I don't like it. The idea that these guys are supposed to the thought of actually imagining these two teams being close to each other in existence, which is true because it's only 2 years from the start of RWBY, brings me like into a conniption because everything about Team Sapphire goes against the portrayal of what RWBY itself as a team, and kind of what the show set Huntsman up to be is like against what these guys act like. These guys are scumbag, low-life criminals, mercenaries who like fucking have no regard for human life and work with criminals.
So, I'm a little fuzzy on this, and you know, there's real RWBY lore, and then you're, made up, fake, not real,
lame,
at all
gay
stuff.
shit.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if 4 huntsmen work together, do they really make a team? I don't really get the team thing. Should that just be like a school thing?
It's never very clearly illustrated the actual functionality of huntsman teams outside of Academy, outside of the fact that there are huntsman teams outside of the Academy. That is a thing. It's not just the school thing. It is a functionalities thing. It's never explained outside of, I believe, just saying 4 is a good number law for why it's in groups of 4 and stuff. But huntsmen operating teams isn't out of the rounds of possibility. It is a normal thing that can still happen. But the fact that it's never fleshed out well on the functionality of this and like the structure of it is a huge failing, because there's immediately questions, like Ben's probably bring up this point about like, not every team's going to stick together after graduation, right? So people link up and make new teams. How does that work? What is the point of this? What's the deal? Are huntsmen hired in teams or smaller groups depending on missions? Or is it like, because people probably are like, well, we're 4 people. We need better pay than just fucking nothing, right? How do the formation rituals work at other academies and things like that? And like, is it a norm that teams stick together? Do they normally break apart? A lot of questions never really expanded upon, unfortunately. Or you know what? I'll say fortunately.
All the huntsmen in Mistral fucking died.
Yeah, the only thing
We can only hope Pike Ride is dead.
you also have to remember that here's the thing. You also have to remember in RWBY, the catalog and categorization of huntsmen as an institution rather than just a function in society is also, 80 years new. This is, it hasn't been a century that the formation of huntsman academies exist. So probably the organization of huntsman teams is under a century old at this point. The only reason they work in teams of 4 is because the King of Vale just said 4 people work together well.
Pretty based.
Yeah.
4's a team, 5's a crowd. Royal decree.
Basically.
Who cares what some old guy
There's
said?
one left out of the shit.
And there's some vague implications you could assume that maybe it's in relation to the maidens and sayings, and 4 is like a weird, holy number on Remnant. Like, people think of 7 as a lucky number, or in Japan it's 4 means death, haha. Maybe there's some implication that it's a cultural thing, right? But never established, so we can never say for sure, and we can never say the official capacity of teams. But we know, Team Stark operated as a team later in life. We know there's fucking Aesop's as a team. Plenty of people still operate in teams after the academy. Happy Huntresses are a fucking team.
There were 5 of them, though.
Well, they broke the rule because
Funny.
Writing. Awesome. Funny.
Oh, but no one had literally clapped if Atlas actually works at teams of 5 because of lore reasons.
Well, they don't
Yes,
because Happy Huntresses and Team Briar exist.
You can never just have fun, can you?
I can never have fun.
Wait,
I'm a headmaster, Ben. I can't have fun.
That's true.
Who's
Fair
Team
enough.
Briar?
The new OCs from the
right.
video
Yeah,
game,
never
bros.
mind. Never
We're
mind.
not talking about Arrowfell here. I'm gonna kill myself.
Stay tuned for our Let's Play.
Those guys. Fuck, you're right.
Felix, why
I have to play Arrow. We're not doing a Team 4-star. We're not. No.
Felix, why is this game so terrible?
I can't do that. I literally cringe whenever they put up. Look,
That's
no hate on Team
embarrassing.
4-star.
Terrible series.
I will still quote some of their funny shit, but
yes.
I don't know.
Playing games as their
Playing a
characters
video
is
game
great.
is maybe it's a one-off thing, but keeping doing it is not my cup of tea. Enjoy it, whatever. I don't care. We're not doing that. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Unless Liam does a funny voice, then maybe.
Yeah. It's pain. It's pain. Oh god, I'm gonna have to play that shitty game. Okay, so
Hey, you played the Kingdom Hearts free one. Come on.
based. So we've kind of danced around it once again. I'm bringing us back on track that we have to talk about the fact that Arastra is the leader of Team South.
My queen!
It's ridiculous. Asher is the leader. Asher is the leader.
Asher has been slowly building up a sub.
Like how Viridian is the leader of Team Supernova, basically.
Shut the fuck up. It literally would be if Felix was made the leader of Team Supernova. If you guys got extended period of each other working together, and then randomly it's why Felix?
Are you gonna fucking take that, Ben?
No, he's the character that has the least amount of interest in leading and
that's true.
cooperating in the first place.
Especially if we're talking from the get-go, especially.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Are we supposed to infer that Team Sapphire decided they do the funny Ozpin meme where he takes the person who needs the most work to become the team leader? We've set up this punchline by talking about how Asher is filling a leadership position by forming bonds with everyone and wrangling people on the team and everything. All Rostra does once in a while is talk about how she's with idiots and retards and is a sociopath. And they make her a team leader.
Yeah, pretty based, right?
There's no discussion in character about this. It is just a title drop to Lemon in the screen, and it's never really discussed why they came to this thought process.
Yeah, I don't know. They never explain why. It's just assumed that my queen does, in fact, get to be the team leader.
Which is so funny if you think about it now. Like, I was thinking about this on the second watch through. Like, they never talk about the formation of their team sticking together and operating like this. Canonically, it appears that Rostra just on the mic goes Team Sapphire, and everyone just goes, sure. Like, no one argues. Like, from the way the games function, I would never have assumed there was off-screen interactions between these characters without being acknowledged. But apparently there just was, so they could have a cool title drop, quote-unquote. Everyone, Chris tries to big this moment up by being like, oh, that felt so good to hear.
That's like before,
I'm just like, buddy, I'm sorry.
That's like before Gale gave us that drink, I just stood up and was like, Team Supernova.
Yeah, it's really weird. And just, Roster's a terrible team leader. This entire episode has probably been the most she's acted in a session, and she's shown that she's a lunatic.
God, it has she, and she's literally a sociopath.
Oh, she's crazy.
Which I guess Asher thinks is base, because he loves insane women,
No.
which is congruent with his backstory unironically, so I don't know. Maybe this is just Asher's fetish is sociopath women.
Can I just say, though, real quick?
Yeah.
This just fucks me up so much because, okay, let's think about this, right? A roster is the team leader, which would imply that moment where she's like, "Oh, we're Team Sapphire." That like, I know what they meant that to be, right? They meant that to be like, "Oh, she takes charge. She came with that shit on the spot." Like, damn, what a woman.
Is that what they meant, you think?
Yeah, yes, I think it means like she came out on the spot and everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, we're Team Sapphire." Like, it's just like, but the way Laura delivers it ruins it completely.
Well, yeah, as you said, or Blake said, I think it was Blake said, Laura delivers the line word for word. We're Team Sapphire. Was that the right one? Like, she speaks immediately out of character, double check she didn't mess up the line. I don't know why Mr. Coquinos or whoever edits these didn't cut that out for her. Holy shit, way to make her look fucking embarrassing. Maybe that was the point. If so, base.
It's awful.
There's no energy.
Obviously, like, you shouldn't script the fucking show, but, like, you know, I feel like before the session, be like, hey, we're gonna name drop the team. It's the season finale. We probably should do that. Which, cringe, by the way. You should have already had a team name. Fuck.
Yes.
But it should have been like, hey, I'm gonna tell you, and then you can just, like, say it confidently. Be a cool moment, you know.
But, like,
a nice reveal, but no, you make it weird and awkward. And
this falls into the same brand of, like, session zero preparations people always tell people to do. Like, yeah, there are times in games where you want to forewarn something for the players to figure out ahead of time. Not necessarily like, hey guys, so there's going to be a fight here, and you should, like, you know, be ready for that to, like, do something unique in the fight. But maybe, like, okay, guys, you guys are coming up on the end of the arc, and you're going to need some things. Let's, what Blake did, come up with something that's like a power-up, because it's an anime game. And, like, you know, in One Piece, people in the early arcs would come up with unique power-ups to help deal with the boss, because, you know, it's a thing that happens in One Piece or something. Or, obviously, in my game, we had talked out the team name, we had talked out, like, abilities and partners and everything. So when we get to the end, people are, like, kind of figured out, like, okay, if I'm sitting next to them, that's probably how this works. Oh, I know what the team name's going to be, obviously, you know this. Like, there are some things that obviously need to be organized. And this moment should obviously be organized and have been, you know, prepped ahead of time in the sense that, yeah, we're going to go official on it, so get ready. And I guess that's what Laura looks like with prep time. Not very impressive.
Well, some people literally just can't do it. Just can't, like, confidently state something. Like, I do not think no matter how much prep time was given, Laura could confidently state the team name, like, in a convincing manner.
And maybe that's not a good person to be playing the team leader then. You know,
yeah,
or
talk
to
about
have in your series
D&D game at all, or your series that people have to pay for.
Yeah,
I'm paying for
I
this.
can't believe they couldn't find fucking 4 people.
No
at
way.
Rooster Teeth who love RWBY, who like tabletop games, and would want to like join. Like,
how's
man.
Barbara?
Man, just remember.
Why isn't Barbara a player in this game? Could they not have main voice actors?
Man, here's like what I wish. Remember, Pat and Wooly are technically affiliated with Rooster Teeth.
We got Wooly.
I wish.
Are they?
Yeah,
yes. Castle Super Beast is a fucking Rooster Teeth product. They had a panel at RTX this year, they're going to.
Did they? I did not know that.
It's happening this weekend, they said.
It was.
Oh, that's base.
Yeah, no, it's fucking hilarious, because, like, I would love if I could just see, like...
Well, he can't read, so he can't D&D.
Well, no,
hey,
it would have been...
it.
Well, no, that's why you bring Pat, too, because they would have had the best fucking chemistry.
Oh, they would have stolen the show. That would have been.
Well, yeah, of course they would have.
Crush the other 2 players. They'd crush the other 2 players.
I think Chris could vibe with them.
Yeah, Chris,
I would technically bring. I would probably bring Kokonos and Carrie.
I would have brought Kokonos and Chad.
Well, no, that's if you want the game to be like if you want to maximum optimal. Like, I want Carrie because I want to see Carrie Shawcross interact with Pat Boyven.
Yeah, I think Carrie surrounded by all good players could be good.
They can wrangle him appropriately. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
But Carrie,
Carrie's a spice factor. He has enthusiasm, at least.
Carrie with a shitty DM and like a Stonewall for half the players.
Yeah.
You know.
Here's our biggest critique of Laura, since we're at the finale, and this is a big time to talk about it. Laura's easily the weakest player because she has a lack of enthusiasm or a lack of ability to convey enthusiasm. And that's so critical in D&D in an improv-based sort of game you're playing. Like, you can't just intuit things well and know how to do combat and everything and know how to make a character. Like, Laura's wrote a backstory for her roster. She had a character in mind for her roster and everything, but she's not able to express it well. She's not able to translate that to play, and it comes across so bad. If you are uncomfortable with role-playing to this degree or just don't have that level of energy to be the character who stands up and goes for Team Sapphire, even if you're doing it in a character that's muted and a little more quiet, there are ways to talk and express your character's actions that make them compelling and make them interesting enough and stand up and not act like a sandbag towards the other players or the DM in the setting. But Laura is unable to do that continually, and it is a continue point of contention. All the other players have a lot of failings alongside themselves already, but I would say most of them at least have a level of enthusiasm that allows for things to be somewhat, like, movable in scenes, but Laura is just completely like a stop. And I apologize to her if she's really trying her best, because that's sad, and I really wish you could, be a normal person and express yourself more easily.
And also, can I say real quick,
mm-hmm.
if this changed in Season 2, I'd also give her a pass. Like, okay, maybe she just finding her footing. 10 episodes, oh damn, but hey, Season 2 she kind of brought up, no she doesn't. Season 2 she's the same way.
No, it's literally
Russia's the same.
The way a roster acts does not change throughout all of Season 1, all of Season 2. There's no discernible changes at all in the way a roster acts or the way Laura plays. It's literally always just a monotone, stilted, kind of more background element character. And it's just awful. Like, D&D is, like, if you're playing a game like this, if you're playing a literal, 5e dungeon crawl, then it's not as important. You're literally just playing like a module. That's what modules are for, is for you to, kind of dip your feet in, and this kind of stuff not being as important. It's just enjoying, rolling dice and having a good time with your friends. But, doing more story-focused things, if you cannot improv confidently, and not, you have to just put yourself out there and just go for it. Even if, it turns out bad, you're never gonna get anywhere if you literally just never try. But then again, I love my queen.
I love my queen. It is so much of that, either a mismatching of enthusiasm or like an inability to like vocalize what you're trying to aim for and like interface with a changing environment. Because D&D is a little more tricky than like a video game because it's completely open-ended in the sense that a person could literally describe anything and throw you things that you're not ready for or whatever. And it's not as difficult as that makes it sound, but I find there are plenty of people out there who kind of get this weird sort of like, I'm belabored with options, I don't know what to do, I'm kind of swimming, treading water here, I'm having a hard time. And that really sucks because it's a lot of fun, and it is very much like a shame to know like, oh shit, people have a hard time with that. I wish I had advice for people like that, and my only advice is to keep trying and, you know, just find people who fit a game of the level. But when you're in a game, like this game isn't of any level of like competency, I'd say, but there is an enthusiasm level that is left Arastra way below it. Laura has not reached it. Like, for all their failings, even Eddie, at least he like is outgoing and forward with what he's doing in his game. He's not like quiet all the time. Like, Eddie's got an idea of what he wants to do, and he's pretty intent on delivering it, and no matter what the players want to do. And all the players are still enthusiastic enough to speak up and try things a lot and like talk and do whatever, have little character moment scenes. But Laura's just not there, man. And it is like, it is a noticeable thing. And making her the team leader, so fucking cringe. I don't understand it.
It just literally hurts the entire thing. Because think of how much more natural it would seem if like Asher was the team leader. Then then everything would just be a little bit better because Asher would actually be the one leading like he normally is and will continue to do. And then it's like, okay, is Laura kind of, or is the roster kind of in the back? I mean, yeah, but she's not literally put in the actual role of being the leader, so it's not as egregious. Like, it'd still be bad, but it's like, there's a difference between being in the back and then have everyone say you are the leading figure and then still being in the back. Like, there's a different expectation, and it just makes it more annoying and more egregious.
Yeah. Miss Laura Yates, come at me. I know you won't.
The Supernova Safari does not fully endorse the views of some of its members.
Yeah. Well,
please come at Noah personally. We do not all agree with all of his opinions.
It's true. He thinks he doesn't agree with me.
We spent so much fucking time literally not talking about the episode anymore.
Well, we were afraid to talk about Arastra. That was the problem.
Okay, honestly, we gotta get this shit underway.
No, yeah. So no more points on talking about Team Sapphire, everyone?
No. Fuck Team Sapphire. Fuck Lemon. Honestly, we're not joking, guys. Lemon literally doesn't matter. Let's just be real.
So, to bring us back on track, they have this conversation where Lemon taunts them about how Kuchinashi is getting, like, gonna be different when they see it again. Weird. Eddie talks about how she's got a cool, like, weird silver gold necklace that Arastra recognized as one of the auction items. At one point, the necklace starts glowing blue. No one really, like, seems weirded out by that, but Eddie stresses it. No one, like, is like, what the fuck's up with that? They just, fuck it. Lemon is just like, oh, you're Team Sapphire, okay, and fucking cuts off. And they hear a bunch of fucking Grimm come towards them. They're on the move. Asher tries to, like, lay down dust mines, I think.
Well, yeah, you see, Zombie's about to get on the boat, so Braid has to lay a trap for him, you know?
See, I mean, a little less egregious since these are mindless monsters, and just as punished as that because Eddie doesn't give a shit what he's trying to do. They come into a room where there's like a big gravity dust powered like huge elevator that can like move a fuck ton of shit up and down, like a mineshaft elevator used to get shit up to the top floor. This will be the staging ground for the final fight of the season. I have to say, credit where credit's due. I like fights like this, the fight on the going elevator up. It's a cool set piece. That's fine. does anyone want to disagree with me on that, or can we agree that at least it's a cool set piece?
It's a cool set piece.
It's a cool set piece.
I like this.
Yeah,
and
it's
up
okay,
at
I
the
guess.
top, so Grimm can like spill down on it and fight them. Hornets or Lancers can fly up to them. It's cool. They bully the NPC.
I love that part in Half-Life.
Yeah, exactly. I love that part in every video game. They bully Eddie here because Mr. Coral is here. And he's like, oh, no weapon! Why'd you guys take my gun? And they're like, just get a stick. And he's like, Eddie tells him he's gonna go look for one. And I think Chad and Carrie both speak up going, but you have to roll perception, Eddie! You gotta roll perception! Carrie comes in, yeah, Eddie, roll to do a basic thing! Quote. Actually based. Literally flaming Eddie for making them roll for stupid, mundane shit. Thank you, Carrie.
Can I walk across the room and guess you roll balance? You ask if you can.
Eddie would make him roll like fucking insight or something stupid.
Insight?
Asking if you can do something around Eddie is a death sentence.
Death sentence. And the fight begins. NP gets like a cool bat with barbed wire because he rolls high on perception. So that means a weapon appears because high perception means something phases in.
Remember, he rolls a 17 and Carrie goes, of course he did.
Of course he did. Yeah, of course. They're pissed off their NPC allies rolling well because that means Eddie's rolling well. It's all they care about here.
I really feel bad for them.
Remember,
like,
you are fighting.
I hope they don't
players.
think this is how 5th edition is, because you're not really supposed to make people roll like literally on everything.
That's what Eddie. Yeah. At one point, NP Coral rolls a 1 on attack, so that means he hits Asher for 5 damage. Very awesome, so Eddie.
Yeah, very cool, Eddie. No, remember what Eddie says. This is your fault.
He says this is your fault.
He says that. Eddie says that. This is your fault.
After fighting for a bit, they're powered the elevator on, and to move the elevator, someone has to go down to something and hit a switch. So they command their NPC to do it and say, "Yeah, we'll come back for you." He's like, okay," and he just kills himself because he stays down there full of Grimm and operates the elevator. Bravo, Team Sapphire, you're heroes. Can I get a salute from them, everyone?
Boggies!
Yeah! I'm back like the pilot.
Yeah. The elevator gets, like, a line gets destroyed by, of course, a bearing goal comes in and fucking Eddie's Deus Ex Machina, I need something to happen. Summon God bearing goal enemy. Snaps cable, which I don't understand since he said it was dust powered, so I assume he meant it would go up with gravity. I don't know. Eddie doesn't fucking care what he said. They have a moment where they're, like, having to figure out how they're gonna, like, grab onto, like, a line thing to, like, drag themselves down and not die. And as they're all doing these things, like, Asher says, like, oh, I'm gonna, like, call over to Phoenix, come over here to, like, get on, man. And Chris starts to go back to this, like, beast mode, like, building up, talking about his development of his semblance, where he's like, okay, but, like, Phoenix is, like, in beast mode, so he's kind of got to, like, grapple with that, like, figure that out as he's, like, figuring out, like, what to do. And, like, he's trying to go into a point where he's going to talk about, like, Phoenix has to figure out, like, to control himself to listen to something like that when he's in his freak-out mode. And then Eddie just barrels over and goes, no, that's fine, you don't have to worry about that.
Based, Eddie, based. Thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. The one time Eddie's trying not to be a dick to him, it's to players, it's to step over someone trying to character build. I don't know how to say it. This was one of the parts I got so mad at, because it's doing my boy Chris so dirty. He's trying. Claire reels at the idea of these tentacles that look kind of like no, like that's gay. No, they're little squids. They don't look like those. You don't fucking freak out about that. Shut up. You're fine. Like, that is the equivalent of what happened.
Felix walks down. Claire, no, they don't look anything like that. I saw the picture.
Felix, spoiler alert for Records of Remnant. Felix recognizes Umaboshi. Ben goes quiet. No, Ben, like, Felix can, like, talk and react. He's fine. What the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Just fucking attack?
No, literally, like, Felix panics against the wall. Yeah. Noah says, hey, can you be cut here? Yeah, no, Ben, Felix will be fine. It's like, come on, man.
Hey,
so,
Ben,
when you see Umaboshi, you actually do this, and...
you actually
level up!
Yeah, you attack him.
No, you level up.
Yeah, you feel good noticing this. You discover a part of yourself. You're fine. You level up. So yeah. Anyway, the next day.
I wish Noah would tell me I level up.
I want to point out that
they're only level 2, right?
They are only level 2. Continuing along the plot things, feel free to speak up and take your own points. I'm just going along the rail of events.
As this elevator in the fight.
Well,
yeah.
I know nothing really important happens in the fight, but I did want to.
No, one thing does.
I did want to know just like one stupid thing I saw that made me laugh was Chris as Asher was like fighting a fucking what did I say? Sorry,
just go ahead. It's fine.
Chad as Asher, yeah, whatever. Was fighting one of the fucking the saber-tooths or whatever, sabers.
Yeah, sabers.
Who was like on stairs. So he's like, oh, I sneak up like from below the stairs and run up the wall to sneak up behind him and do a sneak attack. It's like and he like and then like he did it again. Like he went back, ran downstairs, then went under the stairs, ran up the wall, and hit the Grimm back. It's like, no, that's not how stealth works.
If I leave their immediate vision, they're snuck. It is so funny. I can't believe I almost missed talking about that. Thank you. Like, he's trying to be cool about it, but he's also described it as a stealth attack. Like, what the fuck, dude? Just say it's like an acrobatic assault. I know it's for sneak attack, but that you can't. There's no fucking way you can get sneak attack doing that shit. Thank you, Liam. That
just made me laugh because it was just like
so stupid.
A rogue putting a fucking cloak over his head and being like, I sneak attack.
I throw a robe on them so they can't see me and I sneak attack them.
I step around the corner and I stab them. Okay, I walk back around the corner, I reach stealth and I stab them.
It's literally like, Liam, you'll get this because you're a gamer. It's literally like you were playing Release Cossack's with the bushes.
Oh,
you're just playing mid lane Cossacks, you dip in W, dip in W, dip in W.
Dip in W, dip in W.
Fucking, I loved mid lane Release Cossacks. That was so fucking fun.
Okay, so as this last Berengal falls with them and is survived, and they have to kill it, they have to finish it off, Eddie points out that, as he says, in the heat of the moment, guys, you hadn't noticed this before, but this Grimm and all the other Grimm have glowing blue eyes.
You didn't notice it before, but this happened the entire time.
This has been happening the entire time.
No, if you said this to me, like, after a fight, I'd literally stop the recording there and just be like, Noah, what the fuck?
Like a 30-minute fight. Yeah, this
is...
like,
if we were in, like, an entire... If me and Ben, like, at the end of last Combat Encounter, which at the time of at the time of this being posted, that would have been up already. At the end of that fucking long encounter, it would have been like, yeah, all the Grimm had like blue eyes and said, I would have been like, Noah, what the fuck?
All the Grimm are actually white? You didn't notice.
I would have been like, what's wrong?
You think they're Grimm?
Yeah, I would have been what the fuck, and Ben would have been like, oh yeah, base.
I would have been like, yeah, it was in my copy. I don't know how to say it, so let me be very clear. Grimm are... You can't say this. Grimm are very uniform in their designs, outside of ones with very obvious mutations. There is no way that this is not a striking detail immediately noticeable. They have only 4 colors in their palette. It would be so odd. And he literally says at this point that the blue glow is similar to the one from the necklace before. And no one really comments on that. And Eddie hasn't said it yet. But at this point, the first time we were watching this, we're all keyed in on it, meta-wise. We all know what's happening, but I'm just sick to my stomach, because he hasn't said it yet. And I don't want him to say it. And then, somehow, after they kill this Berengal and they're thinking about it, Chad, acts like he's fucking, solved the Da Vinci Code. It's like, holy shit, I knew the glow from the necklace and that were the same when Eddie's talking about it.
I was baffled being like, I thought this man possessed any intelligence whatsoever.
It was really a weird moment from Chad, because Eddie had literally referred to it as the same glow. They go to a computer and discover some info about this in an information log on tests, and Chad is acting like this is a shock. So, let's talk about this. Does anyone want to recount this, or should I just continue recounting it and we'll have a discussion?
Yeah, he got it, like always, Liam.
Chad's got the recap. All right, good to know. Ben's just AFK.
Not AFK.
I'm just joshing. I'm busting balls. They touch on the last time we talked about how they found info that Javi Pastel was like importing a bunch of shit from across Remnant, but Eddie didn't say what it was, and that was weird. Now it's revealed that the thing that he was importing was Grimm. He talks about it, like, oh, the things he's importing, the Grimm, are low down here. So, Eddie, I think you should have said before in the info logs on the importing of Grimm that was Grimm being imported. You act like that's not a surprise here. You just talk about the imported Grimm. I think they would have fucking been interested in that before, but okay. Then we see info of a video of Javi Pastel showing off that this necklace, this artifact, this magic necklace is a magic necklace that lets you control Grimm. Oh, buddy!
Yeah.
What?
That's pretty cool.
So remember how I said that there's always an explanation? Since the first episode, there's an explanation on why those Grimm acted weird that Eddie would get to and makes no sense. So when Eddie said you hadn't noticed until the heat of the moment that their eyes were blue, he meant since the first Grimm they fought in this campaign. They've been in the heat of the moment. Those Grimm that were controlled to destroy gates weirdly, those had blue eyes this whole time. Everyone has been in the heat of the moment until now. Every person in Kuchinashi is stuck in the heat of this moment and can't tell that there are blue glowing eyes on all these Grimm that are acting strange, that bust into places and destroy things with precise accuracy to fuck their drug operation, to attack gates. They've all been glowing blue.
You know, guys, I feel like I'm in the heat of the moment right now.
I'm in the heat of the moment right now because I'm going to fucking drown Eddie in Minecraft. This is the worst reveal possible. There is a clear aesthetic design put on the Grimm under mind control from this dumb fuck mind control Grimm necklace that you were just establishing is this thing in Remnant. There's this item that controls fucking Grimm! The biggest problem in all of Remnant. They live in a world with magic crystals that could solve all their problems, but there are these fucking evil monsters that hate people being sad, so they kill them. It's the biggest problem. If Remnant didn't have Grimm, they would be the most advanced civilization ever. But no, there's a Grimm there, so they can't do that. But luckily, in Eddie's cool D&D 5th edition game where the level 2 characters run into the necklace of Grimm control, which allows the user to control Grimm precisely. It's fine. We have the solve for Remnant's problem. It's in the cool D&D game. Very awesome, Eddie. Yeah, this is not something that definitely has no repercussions for making exist. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe there's restrictions on it. I'm just going to tell you there's not. You just put aura in it and it controls Grimm.
Yeah, and get ready, because this is now the introduction of magic items.
This isn't the last magic item in this campaign. So, guys, what do you think about the cool Grimm control necklace that President Lemon and Clinton has?
It's based.
It's pretty cool. I mean, think of all the stuff he could do with that. He could build an empire.
Well, good thing, because he's in Mistral, the place where you go to build empires. Unlike Vacua, where people go and disappear. I'd say this is a job that isn't what a huntsman requires, but requires a huntsman to stomach it, personally.
Ben, what do you feel about the necklace?
That's awesome. I think the necklace... I think we've had a discussion on magical items, and I have to once again repeat, you need to explain to me how this has not changed the landscape. This is incredibly powerful.
They only just stuck it up!
Austin would personally fly down and kill you himself.
Salem and Ozma both know the magics of the realm. They were the de facto rulers of the world at one point. They know the culture of magic. They know items like this should exist if this is true. They should know there's a civilization in Mistral that had someone capable of making magic items like this, and they should have fought over this land literally at the inception of Ozpin's attempt to stop Salem and Salem's attempt to form covens and things. This should have been one of the first battlegrounds they have to establish who has control over these lingering magic items. Because there's no fucking way they didn't think about checking. They've had centuries, maybe beyond that, to fucking know that there might be magic items out there. And neither of them thought, we should really look for those until fucking now?
Yeah.
Just the idea. The magic controls Grimm. It means that Ozpin presumably can control Grimm, since how magic works in RWBY, in case you don't know, is it's everything. If you do magic, you can do anything as long as you can figure out how to do it with your aura or whatever. That everyone who had magic had every semblance ability at one point. They just needed to be like have enough aura to do it or be good enough in magic, I guess. So Ospen could presumptuously, since he was a pretty fucking powerful guy at one point, just spend all his time learning how to do Grimm control magic and, like, I don't know, maybe go to Salem, control a bunch of Grimm, and, like, put her in a meat grinder that works forever so she can't reform. Because we later learned Salem takes time to reform when you kill her and stuff, so if you put her in, like, a fucking Grimm grinder, as fucking stupid as that sounds, she keeps deforming. So it'd be solid. I fucking hate these writers. They do all this shit because they think it's cool that Salem takes a long time to reform, which gets blowed up really hard. They don't realize that means Salem has a very obvious weakness, so just put her in a place that makes it hard to reform. Put her in a fucking volcano. She can't reform anymore. Awesome. Wow, Salem, what a villain. Awesome. Fucking holy shit. There's a Grimm controlling necklace.
Oh my god, I just thought of it. What if the end of the series when they defeat Salem is literally them throwing her in a volcano and her, like, reaching up with her hand before sinking?
She does a thumbs up like the Terminator because there's a reference, dude.
It's gonna be a spirit bomb.
No, they're gonna fucking do, they're gonna spirit bend away her magic like an Avatar. That's what the show is. It's Avatar.
They're gonna do.
They just like Avatar.
They're gonna do a Looney Tunes like little portal, and she's just gonna fall through it.
They're gonna stick her in the spirit dimension. She's trapped there, and she likes it, and she gets redeemed.
If they fucking.
Why not? She's innocent if you really think about it.
If they redeem the two brothers who are the real bad guys.
God's the real bad guy.
If they redeem Salem just like they already redeemed Cinder, I'm gonna be really fucking upset.
Well, yeah, she's kind of innocent if you think about it. Sweep the floor, you're a whore.
Sweep the floor, you're a whore.
So, like, this is one of the worst things to happen. This is awful. This is awful. I don't know how Eddie also imagined his villains to be so incompetent that with the ability to control Grimm at a universally global appearing level, that Team Sapphire will live long enough to eventually stop this villain. I don't know. Like, Eddie has just made Lemon look like the biggest retard. Because Lemon has a necklace that controls Grimm, so she should be now one of the de facto leaders of attempts to rule the world right now. But I will tell you now that she does not get very far. So Senator Hillary Clinton Lemon is really retarded, and Eddie makes her seem like a pathetic villain. I can't wait to see her next time when she definitely has more time to become a character, right, guys?
Yeah.
Don't worry, our other villain is currently in the auction room, which you should definitely go look at, guys. Something interesting's happening in there.
Guys, there's free level ups there.
I'm glad Eddie spent his time in Season 1 making sure he could make sure both of his villains get no setup at all. Besides one fucking cutscene where she asks them what their team name is, like a fucking Professor Oak.
Lemon might as well have not existed. Let's be
literally. So, after watching these videos where Hobby, like... Also, I want to point out that Hobby's tests to control Grimm are also probably the dumbest ones possible. Eddie really should have thought of a better one to show them, because he describes them as, like, watching security cam footage of him figuring out, or, like, proving that this necklace controls Grimm. But his proof is that he lets Grimms out of cages who kill someone who's tied up, which seems like Grimm's normal modus operandi, so I don't really know why that was the one that proves he controls Grimm.
Well, because they did it under his command.
To, like, a tied-up person in a room. Yeah, awesome. Go kill them, I say as I drop a squirrel into a cage of hungry tigers. Look, I can control tigers!
Pretty based.
Yeah.
I got a question.
What's up, dude?
So, I know we haven't gotten to the actual cliffhanger yet.
Yeah.
But do you think this would have made a better cliffhanger?
Yes!
Like, finding out that the enemy has a magic amulet that controls Grimm. That's an interesting cliffhanger.
Yeah, it could be like, oh, she smiles into the monitor as the glows blue, and you realize, oh shit, that's the same blue. And then you hear Grimm approaching, and she chuckles and she says, "Have fun with my Grimm." And they cut to Team Sapphire looking between each other's and nervously, and then season cuts. If you want to be like a TV show, but like it's better than their other finale cliffhanger. You're right, Liam. Correct. Also, I love that Javi Pastel's idea is, I'm going to sell this Grimm necklace. I'm going to make so much money. I mean, Javi Pastel was described as a noble from Mistral, so how much more money could you need? I guess he's just fucking retarded. But Eddie's only description of Javi is he looks like a douchebag. Cool.
Yeah, you know...
Man, am I right?
I mean, describing Claire, she looks kind of like a douchebag, that's it.
Clara looks like a country bumpkin. That's it. That's all you get from me.
Yes.
We learned that he was going to sell to the Wave, and they backed out because someone else came into town, and that there's still 2 items in the facility, apparently. Team Sapphire doesn't really acknowledge that or think about it. They save these logs, and they just find a shaft that climbs them back up to the mountain, so that elevator was pointless in the first place. If you're curious what happened to fucking Coral, they never asked, think about it, or reference him at all. Nope. In this episode.
He's gone.
He's gone. Funny NP Coral. They make their way to the clearing up at like the end of the shaft, and they look upon the horizon. They see that, yeah, I guess she was right, because all of Kuchinashi is on fucking fire. And also Eddie describes it as like... Okay, so here's where I'm going to snap back to reality and talk about how... Eddie said they got a short rest in there at one point, remember?
Yeah.
So Eddie... It is implied from these messages they're about to get from Taupe and from the time of day that they have been in here like it is a new day. They've been in there for that long. And I'm sorry, but that was never talked about any time frame we're working with here. It is jarring to realize that Team Sapphire has been there for like 8 hours.
It's kind of fucked up.
Oh, Eddie? You want to fucking mention that at one point?
Yeah, that's pretty fucked. And if I was a player and that wasn't like decided upon, I'd be like, Eddie, what the fuck?
Yeah, kind of fucking with me, huh?
It's like it shouldn't have been any time really. What we did in character wasn't much.
Yeah,
like, they're acting like these rooms are fucking massive and sprawling.
Yeah, exactly. And considering the fact that it leads to them not having been there to help with Kuchinashi being assaulted, it makes you go, oh, I would have probably liked to have done my best to assist with this because I'm presumably a player character who wants to help with this. It's almost like you're trying to fuck me out of ever being able to help with this situation just for a cool shot of Kuchinashi being on fire. The town that I have no connections to, because all your NPCs are assholes and you barely establish any of them as characters, because you speak in meta-delivering text, and this town has been nothing but a nuisance to me the entire time. So now the full arc of Eddie establishing Kuchinashi has come to its conclusion, because Kuchinashi is now going to a new phase of time, being under siege and fucked up by the wave. And I have to ask everyone, did Eddie even try to make this have impact? Like, leading up to this, do you guys think he actually thought this has good impact and he built up to this well? Or do you guys think even Eddie knew this is bad and that's why he's trying to rush to it?
I don't want to believe that anyone thought that this was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't... The players didn't even really react, right? So
No,
like, they didn't.
Shit.
No, they're like, oh, damn.
Like, the whole, like... getting texts from Taupe, like, dialogue was awful, by the way.
It's so hurried. It sounds like Eddie has to, like, is, like, getting out. He's like, guys, I have a meeting in, like, a minute. I gotta hurry. Eddie is, like, halfway out of the room trying to get through this fucking dialogue with them through his tin can. Taupe is calling them and being like, guys, I've been texting you all night. Sorry, Liam, you want to go on?
Yeah, Taupe's like, hey, what happened? Did you guys make it out? And it's like, they've received, like, 50 of these text messages. Like,
yeah, like,
I don't know, like
throughout the night.
Yeah, and their response is, out of where?
Out of where? Did we tell him? And Taupe is just like, guys, the mansion. I know you were going to the fucking mansion. You told me. I don't know about the secret caves. I'm not being that much of an asshole DM. I'm asking about the fucking house that got, quote, guys, all the people who were important were in one place and the wave made their move. They killed all the town guards. What the fuck is with RWBY? Guys, the villain has made their move. They have killed all of X. Every one of them. It happened again. It happened again. Mistral will not only lose all of its huntsmen in 3 years, but the town of Kuchinashi lost all their defenders in one night because they all went to a party and got gunned down. Holy shit, are you for real? Taupe is just saying, yeah, it's me and the child army. We're the only ones left.
Which, honestly, I don't think that even turns out to be true.
Well, yeah, there's some of them who manage to survive. But, like, and it's kind of like soft retcon to a degree, but, like, it is obscene. The level of autism that this is actually what you're committing to. Not that, oh god, there's, like, gang warfare and things are dicey. It's, no. They fucked up everyone, bros. They're all gone. They're all gone, dude. Daff and Alabaster, no! I hope they're okay. I hate to say that a few comments actually say that, unironically, and I'm depressed.
Oh, God.
Yikes.
So the entire city's on fire. My home, not Kuchinashi, and Taupe is like, what are we gonna do? And as they're playing, like, hot potato with his phone, like, trying to talk to Taupe, Arostra, Laura croaks like a frog and fucking muscles up to the mic and, well, Blake, she's your gal.
Don't worry, Team Sapphire's on the way.
And that's where we'll end off.
Oh my god.
I got chills! I got chills! A drunk Chris Coquino says it to the microphone.
I have chills too, but I think that's because it got me sick.
How come Liam never said that?
I know, it's fucked up. I'm so fucking pissed off, guys. Like, we never had sessions with you guys going like, no, we're ending? Oh, dude, I got fucking a hard-on, dude! No! Like, why don't you guys pretend you like my game like these guys pretend
Why
to like
don't
this
you
game?
pretend what you like?
Why don't you guys pretend to like the game and say really weirdly, like, pathetic compliments that I can't believe?
I think Blake has a more reason to be angry. Like, I've seen so many Clara scenes, and I've never, like, come onto the mic and go, dude, I got chills from that.
Never gone like, dude, I love Clara. She's my team leader. Queen. No one's ever called Clara our queen, so that's pretty fucked up.
God, I'd kill myself if I acted like Asher did.
In Minecraft. No.
Oh no, Alabaster's dead in Minecraft.
Yeah. Laura Yates saying Team Sapphire is on the way is the way to end the season. I don't know how people unironically were excited for more of this. In the little post-session minute or two when they're like being like, thanks guys for doing this show with me. And he's like, thanks guys for going along with this silly show of mine. And he calls this show silly in his like Oscar speech about the show. I can't believe.
Oh fuck, is that how they spell Sapphire?
Yeah.
Ah, that looks awful.
I can't believe that. I can't fucking believe that Eddie has so little self-respect for his own product. He's like, he can't... The thing we harped on about at one point, the expressing yourself in the D&D game, there's another big problem, which is, we talk about with Carrie, where it's like, I can't take it seriously. I can't leave my levels of irony and ha-has behind. And Eddie can't just say, I like my game, I think it's cool. He has to call it a silly show. It's really depressing. I want to say that the end song they cut out with is a poorly edited OP for Volume 4. You recognize the guitar riff. And on the last second of the episode, you can hear the lyrics cutting in before they fade out. You hear, and they cut it out, so they awkwardly edited it so so it doesn't actually work as background music. Very based. Good work, Chris.
What are you for real?
Yeah, go to the end. You can hear the beginning of it. It used to be like a fairy tale. Now it seems it's near. Like it, you hear it at the start, at the end. It's fucking awesome.
Shit, they didn't care, dude.
They didn't give a fuck. It's awesome. I love Let's Just Live, and I hate to see it butchered like this.
Let's Just Live. Yeah. I bet that's what everybody at that fucking office is saying.
So, do you guys want me to do the comments before we talk about the episode?
Yeah. Do the comments, and then we'll give our final thoughts
talk about the season. The episode. Okay, I have to say there are 110 comments on this because it's the end of the season, so a bunch of people came back. But I really did have to look through so many comments that are just like, is there another season? So I mean, yeah, I think 110 on like an end season finale of comments is like basically what I expected. Like, there's only so many first users who are that motivated to actually follow this, and it really is revealing that this is one of the only shows the first user gets out of this, and that's so depressing. So let's start with some of these poor suckers who pay for this. Anar 10th Skalangi, Anar 10th Skraling. Really like the quote Mage Mook. Is that Sleep Dust Wand an official thing, or just a result of using D&D style rules? Would love to see stuff like that in the main show, and more old school Mage style Dust users in general, especially as elite mooks like this one here.
I can't. How do you want me to? Do you want me to respond to that?
I want you guys to say you literally cannot believe that someone has the worst take possible and unironically said this.
I can't believe someone literally is just unequivocally giving the worst take.
I would love if in RWBY people cast D&D spells.
It's just like...
It's literally what he said.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we got, wasn't it?
Yup! This guy's probably really happy with how RWBY's going. He literally went to a fucking wizard realm this season. He probably came in his fucking pants. Anar 10th Skraling, if you're listening to this, please confirm, did you come when they built the fucking dumb portal system? I want pics, my man.
Oh my god, don't get me started and fucking what's his name? Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder, also known as Merlin. Mana Seeker 12 said, "We need a season 2! The show is so awesome. Love Team Sapphire. Actually got some nice villains, and the action is just as great as in the main RWBY series, while the comedy here is way better."
I don't know if that's... I don't know how I feel about that statement. You know what, RWBY's not even funny anymore, so I can't even defend it.
I can't lie. He's right. This is funnier than RWBY. Action is just as great. I agree. The action is also shitty here. Actually got some nice villains. I agree. These villains are better than RWBY villains. You're right. And yeah, I don't like Team Sapphire, so that I disagree with. Okay. Ace Outlaw. I just remembered they made it. We are owed a story of the last time Asher was here, lol. Ace! We've heard what happened! Nah. Glad to see the commenters are also not paying attention like the players.
Yeah.
Daniel Zoo, too. I played D&D in elementary school, enjoyed it, but haven't played with anyone since. And a bat with barbed wire, ... Ichiban Kasuga.
Oh my fucking god.
Bet you weren't expecting Ichiban Kasuga. Dumbass.
Oh my god.
Fucking gotcha. Yeah, I love Yakuza. They invented that, right?
Holy shit.
Fuck off. Actually embarrassing comment. Jet Black Arsenal. That's a fucking bad name. This makes me giggle. Fuck! That Aristria mic drop, though. Bravo! He loves her queen.
Queen! My queen!
Something.
Aristria. Oh, I fucking... RWBY names are hard, I guess. Damn. Gamble Muse said, "This was so frickin' good. I don't have the patience to play D&D myself, but this was a blast to watch. Mad props to Eddie as the DM, to all of Team Sapphire, and the folks who whipped this together. Really hope this isn't the last we see of them." I don't have the patience to play D&D. That's the weirdest way I've ever heard that explained. Do you mean like he can't sit down that long?
Well, yeah, you know, he's like 6.
Maybe he meant like mental patients, like that in the series.
Yeah, like I'm not in an asylum. Okay, and the last one here, Kandorian Wonder. Oh, fuck, hold on. I'm gonna roll my jaw. What an amazing episode! The rolls! The epic RWBY battle! The inappropriate sting ribs! And we finally got a team name! Whoa, that was amazing. And I dearly hope we get another volume. What an epic arc. Thanks especially to Eddie. Also, jeez, y'all were amazing. I hope this necklace thing makes its way to volume 8 of RWBY as a slight nod to Team Sapphire. Maybe an animated trailer for Team Campaign? I hope we get an update and return soon. Y'all made a beautiful gift to us, but I'm a greedy bitch and want more.
I'm a little naughty baby.
I love Kandorian Wonder. Kandorian Wonder has made these long comments. I think if you're paying attention to these comment sections, which God help you if you are, he has made a couple so far, and they're all like this. He wanted the necklace to show up in Volume 8? What do you mean by that? You wanted Ironwood to be like, don't worry, I killed some fucking retards and got this necklace in Mistral. What the fuck are you talking about, Kandor? Hey, Kandorian Wonder, if you see this, I really like your enthusiasm, though. Gotta say. Based of you to support something you like, no matter how terrible it is.
Noah, wait, hot take. What if Salem doesn't have the ability to control Grimm?
She just got this necklace?
Like, right before RWBY started.
I would literally get up and clap if they revealed that Salem only could do this because she killed Pike and got the necklace. They just pretend like in the past it didn't exist, that she could control Grimm. They're just like, no, that's the only reason she got it. And they just refuse to acknowledge it. I would die. I'm just putting it out here now. You can all quote me on this when we get to the next volume and forever now in RWBY, however long it's allowed to go on life support. If anything from the Grimm campaign makes it into RWBY proper, I will fucking make a Minecraft suicide montage and put it on the channel. And I will say it has happened. This will happen. If this show's ever acknowledged in the shit show that is RWBY already, I'm going to be so lost for words that they actually would put it in. That would be the worst shit ever. If I see one fucking hair of Pike Wright's dumb head in RWBY proper, it's over. Rooster Teeth is done in Minecraft. Can I get anyone else to join this Minecraft suicide pact with me?
The rest of us fucking hate the show.
I'll kill myself in Minecraft. I promise.
Thank you. We'll make a comp. Make a compilation. Alright, that's all the comments. It's time to talk. We've come to the end of Volume 1 of the Grimm Campaign. Holy shit, thank you, viewers, for making it with us to this point. I hope you've been able to glean anything from this and have enjoyed it.
Okay.
Why don't we talk about any of our last thoughts on this entire season and the show proper?
Okay, I'll start off, and Noah, you can conclude. So you two go in the middle of us. I don't care what order, you guys can decide. So, this is the first season, and I have to say, on rewatch, because I was very hazy on the second half of the first season, and like all of the second season I'm going to be really hazy on, so I'm going to be experiencing it pretty fresh. This was fucking terrible, but like, it's terrible in such a different way from what I remember, because I was so hazy and thinking and getting so like out of it, just listening to it in like a fucking fugue state, but like paying attention to it, it's so awful, just because everything just feels so disjointed, rushed, and awful. And I actually, I at the beginning, I thought I'd hate Asher a lot more, because I remember him being annoying. I actually think he's pretty good, because I think Chad does a pretty good job. I think Chris does a good job with Phoenix, and I enjoy him generally throughout the whole thing. Like, there's their problems, but I like them. Pike is fucking hilarious in terms of how schizophrenic he is, and I can actually laugh at it. And my queen is just my queen, and enough said. But I hate Eddie with a passion for how terrible he is at world building and how much time he literally does not give to anything in terms of the setting, and how much he like tries to give it importance when he literally does not give anyone time to breathe and actually build anything up. So all the problems are root cause Eddie, and Eddie is the bane of my existence. I'm done.
Oh, God, shit. Yeah, why don't you come up?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
I just
Go for it.
I don't know if I have a lot to say, but when I think about this campaign, it really just is the perfect RWBY experience of just tons of potentially good ideas, just done in the worst way possible, with everyone who's incompetent being in charge of the things that they shouldn't be in charge of. It is just the quintessential RWBY experience of just awful scuffness.
It's a beautiful way to put it.
Jesus. Yeah, I gotta say, I don't got much to say besides, dude, the show. I mean, go figure, right? The people making regular RWBY bad are kind of bad at doing this too. Huh, makes you think. Anyway, just watch our show instead of this, dude. It's fucking better, let's be real. I don't mean to toot our own horn, but
I don't.
fuck.
Yeah.
These people. I will agree. Chris and Chad, I think, are fine. They clearly just want to play regular D&D, and no one will let them, and I feel bad for them. But it's whatever. They're fine. Laura, yikes. Holy shit. Leave. Eddie, get out of here also. You're bad as a DM. And Carrie, take some medication or something, man. I don't know. Take something to take the edge off. He's a fucking spaz. It's all in all a bad product, and kind of shows you that Rooster Teeth is kind of shit at everything they do. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Sorry to be an asshole, but
No. Jumping off Ben's point, if you're done here,
yeah, go for it.
is that yeah, there's no other way for me to put it besides that. I can take it back to a place with myself where when I was making team, Records of Remnant and everything, making like the system ideas and stuff and cooking it up. And I don't remember if the show was announced after I had officially started any sessions or not, or if it was before that, because they said a long time ago they were doing this, and the show definitely didn't premiere before ours. But I remembered wondering in my head, like, how's this going to shape up compared to like Rooster Teeth's official product now that they're doing one? Like, I thought to myself jokingly, I'd say things like, well, now we'll get some more viewers maybe because they'll be looking for the show and stumble upon ours. And internally, there's part of me, it's like, well, I wonder how it'll be and if I'll feel inferior towards it or think like, oh, I don't know if it's the exact same product, but I kind of like what they did instead of what I did or whatever, if I'd fall through with my own product by then. All this stuff. And I feel like I feel like I want to say I feel like an asshole, basically. But I have come to the point that Ben says, where it's just like, literally the product I've made, this game, the system with it, everything about it is done better than what the people who own the rights to this product do. And I've been in a continual cycle with RWBY as a product and like a series for years, since like the premiere Volume 3 was when I first getting really like constructive on my thoughts on RWBY and actually being involved in like caring about it and following it along and engaging with weirder parts of the fandom on the periphery. I was never like a fucking Twitter person or Reddit or anything like that and getting involved with shit actively, but I was always like, I was interested in like fan teams or fan fiction, things like that. I like the universe for some reason, and I found some interest in following along the show, riding the highs of when I thought it was good and had potential and was going to be good, and then crashing down and getting fucking amused and disappointed in it when it failed. And knowing now that I have the D&D comparison and what I've done with my own view on it, and finally been able to put all my care towards this series into something creative that I can continually refine and utilize in a fun way, besides just, daydreaming about ideas for RWBY and keeping them to myself and writing them down. I have concluded that I have no shame in saying now that the product I've created is better than anything Rooster Teeth did for their own game in the D&D setting, outside of maybe production value of getting art, and even then it seems jarringly bad sometimes. This is just really painful to once again see this company refuse to embrace and utilize the best parts of a product that they have and an IP that they have, and continually bury it under people who don't care and are uncomfortable being like earnest about the product. I know I don't know if this has been clear over the campaign, but we've had some shit where we make jokes about how like Monty handled things when he was still alive, obviously. But obviously, without Monty, this product never exists. And I still respect a lot of what he did. He was a brilliant animator in that regard, and had a vision for what RWBY is. And ever since he's passed away, there's been no one with a vision who cares about RWBY earnestly. If there's one thing I could always say positive about Monty in this whole thing, it was that he really could get into his own bullshit and liked it. And wasn't ever ashamed or, like, weirded out by, like, oh, man, is this anime? He'd just do whatever he wanted. And since then, when this product's been bounced around between writers and things and people, there's no one, I think, who likes this series earnestly. I think there's people who want it to be something else. I think there's people who don't really understand what the appeal of it was, and I think there's people who are embarrassed to work on it because they think it's a weird anime show or something, and they try and make it not that. And I don't think there's been any earnest love for RWBY in years. I don't know if that's sociopathic of me to, like, assert my own understanding of it above people who own it, but it is. And this campaign is just another nail in the coffin of this will never be allowed to be what I thought it had the potential to be. And it really is just fucking embarrassing that this is a paid product. These are people who are putting in so little effort in something that is required monetary value to gain of a series that's their most popular franchise, and that they could be making something really good, but they continue to squander it over bullshit with dumb decisions. And there are people out there who lap this shit up so easily and just, like, are, like, never want to talk about how, like, yeah, there's clear problems with these series. And, you know, I really enjoy being able to laugh at a series, which is why I can find fun in doing this. I don't come across like I'm seeing with something I love be beaten. But overall, if I had to say it earnestly, this is one of, like, the most dog shit things I've ever seen, and it really pisses me off that they didn't consider getting anyone who actually, you know, knew how to run D&D games as a show. There's plenty of people, varying quality degrees, but clearly better than them, like on YouTube or stuff, who has shows that do this. Why didn't they get some people, sponsor them, and have them do a series in this setting? And if it worked well, they could continue to work the deal on that. But hey, that would probably be too smart, and Rooster Teeth has never been intelligent. And this first season, I want to tell you now, second season, no improvements. Hilarious. Still bad. We're going to keep trucking on this shit, and season 3 is on the horizon now currently, so I hope you guys are excited for that. You know, if there's one season that ends poorly, don't worry, season 2 ends in another very confusing situation that I think is probably more damning to the world than season 1's, in a very bad way. So get excited for that, because that's one of the worst things, canonically, to think about possibly ever. So that's just a little teaser to keep watching the Supernova Safari when we cover Volume 2 of the Grimm Campaign. And that's where I'll wrap up my screed, which mainly turned about my rage at RWBY. But really, this, like Ben said, and this series is just dog shit compared to, like, what me and, like, I've seen games I think are shitty that do it better than this. And what Liam said, where this is the quintessential RWBY experience, yup, this is RWBY. Just pain and disappointment all the way through, and they still find ways to surprise you. In the final episodes, we're getting new surprises that fuck with everything. It's awesome. Yeah. I fucking hate Rooster Teeth.
That's basically it. I mean,
yeah,
we're not going anywhere. We enjoy doing this. We enjoy putting this up. We enjoy watching this absolute shit show. So hopefully, you do not have to. We can save you one person from having to watch this fucking series. I consider that worth the time.
My goal in life is to keep as many people from having Plus memberships by providing them an understanding of the product they'd receive for paying for it. Unlike Rooster Teeth, who hides their products.
It's awful.
It's fucking terrible.
So
I love and hate RWBY.
We will continue onwards to season 2, but we might take a quick detour into another part of the safari to explore some other topic for an episode or two. So, stay tuned to see what is next for the Supernova Safari, but do not worry. It will not be long before we venture back into the deep, dark abyss that is the Grimm Campaign. So, if you like what we do here, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Share it around with anyone you know that'd be interested. Check out Records of Remnant, our D&D series that is much better than this one, as Ben and Noah have said. And, well, if you watch all of that, I run a One Piece game that is linked in the description down below that I'm sure you also might find some enjoyment in. So please, I would love if you check all of this out and just continue to venture with us in the safari. Any last words, anyone?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Don't worry. The safari's on the way.
Awesome. I hope that we can finally come out of this fucking jungle and maybe go to the Pride Lands or some shit. Because honestly, this is cringe.
That's a Lion King reference, Noah.
I watched The Lion King. Fuck you. The treetops are thick here, and I wish to see the sun. Please, we've been in here for weeks. And I will attack anyone.
This is the classic.
Yeah, what's the question of the week?
Okay,
Ben?
Question of the week. Please comment down below. Do you think that season 2 will be any better? I know, take everything we said with a grain of salt. We could just be stupid, and season 2 is great. But do you think they can pull it back, bros? Do you think they can run it back all the way?
What do you think, Liam?
As someone who's now watched all of season 3, I think you guys might just be season 2. Well, you haven't. I wasn't wrong the first time.
Fair enough.
I think maybe they can pull it back. Maybe you guys are blowing things out of proportion. From what I saw, it was pretty good. So, so I think there's a chance.
You know what? We'll see. And with that, we bid you adieu. Please stay safe, and we'll see you next time in the safari.
Keep your hands inside the vehicle.
Grab yourself a seat and keep those hands in the vehicle at all times. You're about to be taken on a ride through the untamed wilds of internet role-playing. Observe them in their natural habitat.
So you head out. You know that'd be funny. I didn't know there'd be consequences.
Enjoy the splendor of their spurgery.
Felix, who is the lion fauna,
and feast your eyes upon the questionable creations of internet randoms.
Actually, I've never DM'd before.
This is the Supernova Safari.